Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, on deck, it's me, Raheem Ali. Yeah. I advise that you turn your system all the way up to 10 and put your system on stereo so you can sit in the sweet spot and hear what's about to go down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go! It's season 6. We know not to fall for tricks. Raheem feels trapped out. Yeah, I'm on the mix. We got this mapped out. It's cleared out without a doubt. Time to debate. Get the flyer. I'll pass it out. This is the place to come. You don't need to be a scholar. Just bring your facts and truth and sour holler. We gonna check your lesson, and if it doesn't fit, we gon' rip it, rip it, rip it, rip it, rip it, rip it. Let your conscience go and let your spirit flow. All types of faiths, knee deep in your face. Yeah, this is knowledge for you, and you too. Gotta back it up for the bait talk for you. Let's go. Let's get this thing started so we can take a ride. No need for egos, liars, and facade pride. If you're with it, you're with it. We're far from few. This is the show, the bait talk for you. Let's go. The bait talk for you. 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 Yeah, Sal. They time for with it now. The bait talk for you. The bait talk for you. What? The bait talk for you. Yeah.
Welcome to the planets of the beats, the Beat Talk Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, brothers and sisters. This is Brother Stanley of Sin No More Ministries here to encourage you all to support Sal's Showtime on Debate Talk for You. Those that have been showing support, you have been such a blessing to this powerful ministry in so much that this show is still on the air because of your heartfelt love gift. For those who are unable to give, we are still praying that you reach down into your pocket for $1. Yes, that's exactly what I said. I said $1. That same paper that you use for that vending machine. Amen? That dollar will make so much of a difference in this ministry. If you go to PayPal and set up your account, you can do it in so much that they can only reach out $1 every month from your check. You won't even feel it. And the show will stay alive on the air because of you. You'll have such powerful debates every week for years to come. So go to www.paypal.com, then use the email debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That is debatetalk4u@gmail.com to donate. God bless you all.
What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and we are back with a brand new season of Debate Talk for You Radio. This is officially season 6 of Debate Talk for You. I want to welcome everybody to the show. I want everybody to go to the website, www.blogtalkradio.com/Debate Talk for You. Check out the schedule, and you can keep us on the air by sending your donations. Go to www.paypal.com. Use the email debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. We have listeners all across the globe. Get your pen and pads ready and enjoy the show.
Peace and blessings, family.
This is your good, humble brother Basim, representing the DMV area. And when I'm not holding down my mid-level position in corporate America, I'm tuned into the most respected debate show on the globe. That's Debate Talk for You with the esteemed host, Sal Showtime.
Greatness attracts greatness. Talk with the Titans host here, Callum L. And you're now locked into Debate Talk for You Radio.
All praises, all honor, all glory to the supreme intellect of the universe. This is Nasi Yashuvel of Shomrei HaTorah in Atlanta. And if I'm not reading my Torah or suplexing some false deity, I'm listening to my man, Sal Showtime, and Debate Talk for You Radio. Beautiful. Keep doing the good work, brother, bringing forth the information and spreading that love.
Greetings from the I Love Being Black movement. We have the largest black Facebook page with over 6 million fans worldwide, and we're offering advertising options at affordable rates. If you want to increase your reach with loads of new fans, then this is absolutely the best way. We also offer seminars, consultations, and strategic planning services by Kumi Raouf, aka the Social Strategist. Why not contact us today at ilovebeingBlack.com or call us at 310-807-5775. Cheers.
Hello, everybody out there listening in. This is Brother LeVar, co-teacher of Absolute Bible Truth Ministry. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge and give reverence and credence to the Father of all creation, the Holy One of Israel. Peace and blessings in the name of our Lord and King, the Messiah, Jesus Christ. I want to take this great opportunity to invite you guys to the Absolute Bible Truth broadcast on Blog Talk Radio. If you love to hear the Word or have any questions concerning the Word, call in and dial 646-716-8249. That's 646-716-8249. We are live on the air every Saturday, the Most High's weekly Sabbath, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to listen in via internet, type in www.blogtalkradio.com/Absolute Bible Truth. We also have a Facebook page. You type in Absolute Bible Truth, all one word, in the search engine. At ABT, we teach the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth concerning the Word of God while leaving out all personal opinions, speculations, and beliefs. Our ministry believes emphatically that the Bible is indeed the absolute truth, and we pride ourselves in bringing forth the Word in a clear, intelligent fashion so that the body of Christ will be edified in abundance. I love you guys, pray our strength in Christ, and we will do the same for you. Shalom.
This is Frank Nowak, coming straight out of Phoenix, Arizona, aka the Soldier of Faith, aka the Catholic. When I'm not exegeting scriptures according to the early church or studying the church fathers, I'm listening to Debate Talk for You with Sal Showtime. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Sic ut erat in principio, et nunc, et in seculum seculorum. Amen.
What it do, people? It's your boy B. Lit Dive, and I'm chilling over here with my man, Sal Showtime, man. And I'm just here to let y'all know that there's only one place that you need to go to hear the word from the word, man. And that's at Debate Talk for You, man. I'm going to slow it down, man, because a lot of people slow. I speak fast because I'm from New York, but, I'm going to slow it down, man. That's Debate Talk for You, hosted by my man, Sal Showtime. You dig? Keep it tuned, man. You already know what it is.
Don't touch that dial. You're now listening to Debate Talk for You Radio.
Hey, what's going on? This is Felix, also known as Enoch, student at Absolute Bible Truth, and I'd like to give a big shout out to Sal Showtime and Debate Talk for You. I'm a frequent listener, been listening since season 1. Keep doing your thing, and for everybody out there who can hear this, send in your donations so Debate Talk for You could go on for a long time. All right, y'all. Peace.
This is Renald Francoeur representing from Atlanta, Georgia. And when I'm not busy in the studio, I'm checking out Debate Talk for You Radio. Keep up the great work, Sal Showtime.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another show. You're now listening to Season 6 of Debate Talk for You. I'm your host, Sal Showtime. We are back with another classic show for you guys. Well, once again, we are back, and tonight we have the Roundtable Episode 20. That's right, it's the Roundtable Episode 20. This is a show where we gather multiple special guests, and we pick a particular topic. But tonight is actually a special Roundtable. We have two groups here inside the Lion's Den on the Roundtable episode, Episode 20. We have the Armored Rod Squad here for the first time right here on Debate Talk for You, versus the War Council, also here for the first time as a collective right here on Debate Talk for You. And it's going to be another one of those classic group debates tonight inside the roundtable. So tell a friend on social media, spread the word out there that Debate Talk for You is live and on the air. And of course, everybody know that Debate Talk for You, we have the best special guests in the world to present the information out there to the masses. So keep it locked on Debate Talk for You Radio. If you're out there on social media, we appreciate you guys for tuning in, pressing play out there, and of course, share it on your personal page. And once again, I'll put that number on there, 646-716-7320. This is the show where you become the jury, and you can call in live by dialing the number. Once again, 646-716-7320. Of course, all the international listeners out there that's calling in via Skype. We have people all across the globe checking out the show. We even have people waking up early in the morning checking out Debate Talk for You Radio. So there's people out there that actually it's a morning show for you guys. I appreciate you being here live, checking us out. And of course, everybody on social media, once again, keep spreading the word about Debate Talk for You. Before I introduce my special guests, let me just make a few brief announcements. As a matter of fact, people already on the switchboard pressing number 1. Do me a favor, if you're not a special guest on the panel, do me a favor, just press number 1 and take yourself off the switchboard, because right now I just want to get all the special guests in and introduce them properly. So once again, if you're not a special guest and you press number 1, do me a favor, press number 1 one more time. I'll take you off the switchboard. However, if you are a special guest, please press number 1 and stand by so I can introduce you properly to the people all across the globe checking out Debate Talk for You Radio. Well, before I introduce everybody, of course, you already know, I got to go through a few brief announcements. As usual, send me an email at debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk, the number 4, and letter U @gmail.com. Go to facebook.com/Debate Talk for You. That's facebook.com/Debate Talk for You. You can download the show via iTunes. All you got to do is go to the podcast section and type in the search box Debate Talk, the number 4, and letter U, and you'll see the show pop up absolutely free. The great thing about the iTunes podcast, once again, it's absolutely free. You can check out season 1 all the way up to the present season of Debate Talk for You, and you can download it to your PC, your tablet, whatever you have, your Mac, the iPhone 6, and always check out the show and never miss another episode. So again, it's absolutely free, and I highly recommend it to support the brand and subscribe today. Go to Instagram.com/Debate Talk for You. Of course, we got some video up on YouTube. Go to YouTube.com/Debate Talk for You. We're on Twitter at Showtime DT for You. That's Showtime. D as in David, T as in Tom, the number 4, and letter U. Those of you who want to see the Lions Den debates live next summer, 2006, you can now make it happen. Go to the official website. We got the GoFundMe site up. Go to www.gofundme.com/Debate Talk for You Live. Once again, your support is highly appreciated. We try to take it to the next level, but it's all determined by the people support out there that's checking out the show. We have a lot of supporters of Debate Talk for You. So once again, if you want to support for the live debate to go down next year, 2016, go to the website, www.gofundme.com/debatetalkforyou-live. For all the first-time listeners, welcome to the show. There are many segments of this radio show, Debate Talk for You Radio. We have the music artist testimony, where I invite artists, to present their songs and do brief interviews. And we also hear from the callers. I have a segment with a lot of teachers, biblical teachers, that present lessons to the people out there. And you can call in with your questions, your comments. You know the number, 646-716-7320. On occasion, of course, we have people. We can talk about current events that's happening out there in the world, within our community. We have the hot seat segment of Debate Talk for You, where for 60 minutes, the listening audience will call in with your tough questions and your comments to whoever I invite on the show. Again, that's another classic segment of Debate Talk for You. We have the round table, which is the second most popular show on Debate Talk for You, where I invite several special guests on the show with pick a particular topic, and we have a great discussion. And of course, we're well known all over the world by the Lions Den debates, where we have the best debates in the world via internet, and of course we have the best special guests to bring forth the information. So for the new listeners out there, hopefully you go check out the archives. It's archived, www.blogtalkradio.com/Debate Talk for You, and subscribe. Keep in mind, I have a variety of special guests on the show. So whatever information you hear, make sure you take notes and do your own independent research just to make sure the information is accurate. Feel free to call in live. We must hold our elders, teachers, and scholars accountable. This is a family show, so remember, there's no foul language, guys. No foul language. Keep it clean, keep it professional. We have people listening to it with their children and even the elderly. The views and opinions expressed on all segments broadcasted on Blog Talk Radio are entirely those of the special guests and does not in any way reflect the opinions of the Debate Talk for You host or personnel. Help keep the Debate Talk for You on the air by sending your donations. All you got to do is go to www.paypal.com and use the email donations at debatetalkforyou.com. Once again, that's donations at debatetalkforyou.com. We have thousands of listeners that tune in all across the globe. So if you send $1, $5, or more, remember, you are making it all happen, so we appreciate the support. And shout out to those people out there that actually keep us on the air, to keep on supporting the brand each and every month. We appreciate you guys for supporting the brand. Let's let you guys know, next week, guys, we have a special segment of Debate Talk for You, and I actually got noticed maybe 2 days ago about this schedule. On Thursday, September 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have the hot seat in full effect, and guess who's going to be in the hot seat? Ron Divine Prospect is going to be here. That's right, guys. Ron Divine Prospect is going to be here live on Debate Talk for You. And this is not going to be his first time. He's been here before, but this is going to be your chance to ask your questions. Whatever questions you have for him, you can ask your questions live this particular day. Again, that's Thursday, September 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. He's going to be inside the hot seat right here on Debate Talk. I think I got my hot seat effect over here. I got my hot seat effect. Here we go. Yeah. That's the hot seat right there. We're going to have our man Ron Divine Prospect right here on Debate Talk for You inside the hot seats next week, so make sure you be here live and spread the word about that. All right, so let's go to the panel. I know y'all can't wait. You want to get this thing started. Again, I see a lot of people out there calling via phone and via Skype. The switchboard is lit up. Again, only my special guest that's scheduled to be here. Please press number 1 right now. Everybody else will get to you guys later on. Just do me a favor. If you're not a guest, please press number 1 and take yourself off the switchboard. But if you are a guest, that means you press number 1 and you're standing by, waiting for me to introduce you to the world. So let's go to the first special guest. Let's see. Let's go to 215-500. Who am I speaking to?
Peace. This is Brother Sinjetti from the Amarat Squad, calling in as a special guest. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us. Peace to the host and to the brothers who we'll be having our discussion with, and to all the listeners.
All right, man. Appreciate that, man. Let the people know a little bit about yourself, just a little bit. So for those who are unfamiliar with who you are.
Okay. Just a little quick background. I've dealt with history, Africana studies, ancient Kemet for over 15 years. In regards to the language of Kemet or ancient Egypt, I've dealt with that since 1999. I've learned from people such as Mfundisi Chukwuemeka, Khan Heru, all right, whom I was initiated under at first. I also learned from Uncle Mira, who is actually an instructor. He's an ancestor now of the Kemetic language. I deal with linguistics, African linguistics in particular. I have a biology background in science as well as medical. So I'm very, very accustomed to dealing with science objectively, etc. I deal with research, etc. And I've been with the Amara Squad, from the beginning. I'm one of the first members, and we started it about 5.5 years ago. Okay? So, and again, I love research. I love discussing and making discussions with brothers and sisters, and building, even with those who are in opposition. And I feel like we can all learn from each other at the end of the day. Mm-hmm.
All right, Brother Sinjetti, I appreciate you being here live on Debate Talk Radio. Our next special guest, let's see, going to 678-577. Who am I speaking to? 678-577. Who am I speaking to? Hello, 678-577. Can you hear me?
Yeah, speaking. Black African Power.
Hey, what's going on, brother? What's happening?
What's good, man? How you doing, man? I'm a raw squad up, man.
That's right. Let me sit that line for you, brother.
You say what?
Let me put that line out there for you. There you go.
Yeah, put that line out there, man.
Yeah. So for those who don't know who you are, let's give a brief introduction of yourself. Go ahead.
My name is Brother Unc. They call me God Killer. I'm the original member of the I'm a Raw Squad. I petition the brothers to bring them together to teach African history. I represent the house of real black atheism, and so the squad is made up of about 8 different houses, and I represent the real black atheist house. Yeah, so we're here to do what we got to do to educate the people, to destroy the myth of racism, white supremacy that has destroyed our culture and our heritage. And so we're standing on top of the pile, and I'm here to enjoy the conversation with my Hebrew brothers. I'm a Raw Squad Up and Black African Power.
All right, man. I appreciate you being on the panel, my brother. And once again, we have the Armor Raw Squad in the house right here on Debate Talk for You versus the War Council. Again, it's going to be a classic roundtable, episode 20. You know that number, 646-716-7320. I'm just bringing everybody on the panel one by one so you can hear from the special guests and hear their brief introductions before we get this thing started. Let's go to the next special guest. Let's go to 757-580. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, this is Kevin G., also known as Yahweh ben Yasharallah. Just now getting into this as far as on the mainstream with the community and basically debating the facts and evidences that pertain to, the evidence of God, substantiating the Hebrew faith, and how we proving, the Bible being the best tool for our liberation. So I'd like to say thanks to the host. Appreciate it, Sal, for everything that you do for, the past couple of years. And also appreciate the opponents in this debate, as well as my colleague.
All right, my brother. I appreciate you being here live, man. Debate Talk for You. Let's go to the next special guest. Let's go to 212-470. Who am I speaking to?
Shalom. Can I be heard?
Loud and clear, brother.
Shalom. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael, a.k.a. Kashub the Danite, giving honor and praise to Yah, the creator and the maker of heaven and earth. A brief introduction, basically raised as being an Israelite, a Hebrew, since I was a baby, now a grown man and such, raising my daughter in the same. And basically just want to present information regarding the fact of saying that we are part of the black nation, if you want to put it in terms of that. But we are saying that we are part of a particular branch of black people that is uniformly understood to be the Israelites. Never denied in history as far as being in existence. And basically the Israelite record stands for its own self, just as much as my introduction can stand for its own self in light of that. So just want to sit there and present that particular aspect there. Giving thanks as stated to Yah, the creator, the maker of heaven and earth on the human level, giving thanks I appreciate what the brother Sal has done, and to the brothers that's with me from the Israelite Understanding, thank you for accommodating us, and to our extended brothers who have a different understanding, we thank you so that way from the Amin Ra Squad, so we can at least gain an understanding of which each other understand unbiasedly. Shalom. Peace.
All right, once again, I want to welcome you to Debate Talk Radio. Let's go to the next special guest. We have like about 8 special guests here, so we got to get everybody on the panel. Let's see. We got 973-432. Who am I speaking to? 973-432. Who's on the line? 973. Can you hear me? 973-432. Can you hear me? All right. This is going to put that brother on hold. Hopefully, the reception works out. Let's go to 216-972. You're live in air. Who am I speaking to?
Shalom, Hotep. This is the brother Jesus DiCaprio, calling out of Cleveland, Ohio. Say peace to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Islam, peace to the nation of gods and earth, and Hotep. Now, my whole premise is, if we're going to deal in truth, we're going to get the people truth. If we're going to deal in falsehood, we might as well stand back and stand down. You understand? Because it's a new era where we living in times falsehood is being shoved down our throats at an all-time high. A curtain is being pulled over our eyes. We're being bamboozled. When it's all said and done, the word of the Most High will reign supreme, which is the highest order of the universe. And with that, I say, Hotep to the brothers. And shalom.
All right, once again, we appreciate you being here. Let's check this number out here. Is this, let's see, 347-972. Who's on the air?
Peace, Brother Sal. This is Brother Raheem. I'm just checking in, tuning in to the show and see what happens between Amin Ra Squad and Israelites, and to let it be known, I'm Muslim, so I'm just checking out the show. If you need me to sit on the panel, it would be no problem.
I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. Now, we got to make it a fair panel. Brother. No doubt, man. But once again, I'm just trying to get all the people that belong on the panel right now on the switchboard. So once again, if you're not a part of the panel, just do me one big favor, to take yourself off by pressing number 1 again. And once I introduce everybody, you can press number 1 and hold your spot for the public Q&A. So, because, we always go to the people later on and get your questions and your comments. But let's go to the next caller. Let me check this number again. Let's check 973-432. You're live in air. Who am I speaking to? 973. Are you there? All right. Got to move on. Let's see. Let's go to 210-429. You're live in air.
Peace and blessings. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. This is Brother Saram Hotep with the Amin Ra Squad. Just want to say thank you for allowing me on the show. Sorry. Just want to say thank you for allowing me on the show. A little bit of background on me. I'm an Africana Studies researcher. One of my tools of analysis is historical comparative linguistics. I focus on comparative religion and culture, as well as my primary background in computer science. So I look forward to this discussion. I will only be here briefly as I'm going into work, but I will get as much in as I can. So I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
All right, brother. So I appreciate you being here, man. I hear the background stuff. You doing your travels. I hear you, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Just do me a favor. Just press mute. When you just press the mute button, and when it's time for you to chime in, just unmute yourself and chime in. But I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you being here live on Debate Talk Radio. Let's see. Let's go to the next person. Let's go to 609-517. You're live in air.
Yeah, what's up, man? It's King Josiah, a.k.a. God. You know what I mean? I'm out here representing, man, Ward Council. Shout out to all my fellow brothers on the phone right now. Kashu, you know what I'm saying? Yahawada, definitely my man Jesus DiCaprio. How you doing? Shout out to the brothers that's also on the other side. Asar, it was good with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, we just here representing, you know what I'm saying, Yah, the undisputed spirit, man, of all creation, the Father of all. You know what I'm saying? I just give glory and honor to him, to the Messiah, his son, his Mashiach, whatever you may want to call him. Okay, my premise tonight is to set the record straight that us as Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, okay, we study, we in the field, we doing what we got to do to try to preserve, you know what I'm saying, humanity as far as our culture and our people, all right, and we representing our Constitution, and I want to be able to bring and shed some light on the book itself, to show that it's universal in knowledge and principles in particular sciences, and that when you're dealing with brothers like us, there's no room to try to go out and pick on other brothers that really don't have a background in studying, scholarship, and who's not really looking at the logic behind some of these answers and questions that people are presenting to them. So I'm just here on behalf of that, representing for the brothers that actually are in this thing, just really doing this thing, real Israelites out there, you know what I'm saying, loving other nations that want to come in, you know what I mean, showing that love to the African, showing that love to the so-called Edomite, the white man, whoever wants to come and enjoy this peace, whoever wants to come and bow down to the Supreme Creator and do what we have to do as men and women on this earth, you know what I'm saying, to fulfill our roles in being kings and leaders, and ultimately brothers coming underneath of the priesthood that's set out forth by Israel. They're all welcome. You're all welcome. Anybody of different opposition, we ain't got to argue, we ain't got to debate. We ain't got to argue, we ain't got to debate, but we definitely going to build, and we definitely going to show each other that we got knowledge of self, and we're going to present that in a way where if anybody looking in, they understand that they're dealing with some wise brothers, and we will not be counted as fools. So shalom.
All right, that's King Yeshaya. I see we have one more person that pressed number 1. Let's see. We got 708-965. Who am I speaking to?
Peace, Blue Black Sub-Saharan African Power. This is your brother Jesse Ngozi. I'm in Rock Squad Up, Team Osiris. Let's get it. Peace and love to you, brother. I appreciate you for allowing me to have the opportunity to come on here and build, man.
All right, brother Ngozi, I appreciate you, man, being here live on Debate 12 Radio. I think, let me see, I don't know if we have, I think you're missing one person. Let me go back to this brother right here. 973-432, you're live in the air. Who am I speaking to? All right, we're going to have to just run with the we got right here on the panel. All right, so this is how we're going to do this. Basically, each group is going to have 45 minutes to ask each other questions. We're going to start off with the War Council asking questions to the Armorah Squad. Once again, I have the timer here set up. And once we get to the 2-minute mark, we're going to hear this sound. That means there's 2 minutes left. And after that, once the time is totally up, you're going to hear this sound. And then we're going to move on to the Amun-Ra Squad asking questions to the War Council for 45 minutes. And once again, hopefully, once we have this dialogue, each brother, one by one, let's not be long-winded. Be mindful that we have only 45 minutes here. And hopefully brothers could, give everybody a chance to speak in dialogue. We have a lot of brothers here on the panel, so it's going to be a classic show. After that, we're going to take a 10-minute intermission break, let the brothers relax for a little while. And after that, we're going to go to the people out there. You, the listening audience, and you can call in with your questions, your comments. You know the number, 646-716-7320. By the way, guys, the chat room is officially open. The chat room is officially open. If you want to gain access to the chat room, you have to go directly to Blog Talk Radio website, www.blogtalkradio.com/debate talk for you. Click on the show, the Roundtable episode 20, and when you scroll down at the bottom, you're going to see a little box there. You can interact with me or the people that's inside the chat room. As a matter of fact, for those shy people out there that don't want to call in, you can type in your questions in the chat room, and I'll read it to the panel later on. But let me open up everybody's phone lines now. And once again, if you have any background noises, just do me a favor, just mute your mics. You know, I'm opening up everybody's mic right now. Hold on, we go down the line here. Open everybody's mic. And once again, guys, if you're on social media, share to your personal page. Let people know that Debate Talk for You is getting ready to go down. So, again, we're going to start off with the War Council asking questions to Amon-Ra Squad. I guess we could start off with Moray Yeshaya. You can go ahead and ask your questions to anybody on the panel. Go ahead. 45 minutes.
Shalom, shalom. Can I be heard?
Loud and clear, brother. Loud and clear.
All right. Well, first and foremost, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, can I be heard?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I didn't know who else was speaking. Sorry about that. Basically, my question is pretty simplistic. Are y'all brothers teaching and saying that black people in general, that is to say all melanated people or people of what you will call the Negroid type upon the planet Earth, all have roots in Simatawi? By Simatawi, I mean the literal ancient name that Mentuhotep and Amos and the rest of them would have called the land of Tomeri and Tamehu. Essentially, here's my question in a nutshell. Do all black people come from the Nile Valley civilization in Northeast Africa and the place that we commonly call Egypt?
Sorry, you want to get that first since you got to be the first to go?
All right, no problem. Categorically, no. There's a difference between the evidence of humanity and Homo sapiens sapiens coming out of the Nile Valley region, more so in the core, the beginnings of the Nile, in Ethiopia, Uganda area, versus the civilization that arose later in Northeast Africa, known by various names. One you mentioned, Tameri, Kemet, and some other names. And so I'm unaware of anyone on this particular team teaching that humanity arose from ancient Egypt. We teach that it comes from Central East Africa. The oldest bones are currently found in those regions of Ethiopia, Uganda, and the like. And so if anybody else wants to, piggyback that, they can go ahead.
This brother and goes. Yes, my brother Assad broke it down. Humanity starts in one cluster of humans, because humanity is a hybrid itself, Homo sapiens, and it's not a one straight line anymore. We find that you discover Omo Man 1 and Omo Man 2 in the Omo Valley of southern Ethiopia, as the brother Assad Motep said. But human beings develop different variation of genes or different gene variants from different parts of Africa. For example, you might get a face or the shape of the face from North Africa. They find skulls up there in Morocco going back 300,000 years. Omo Man 1 and Omo Man 2 goes back 195,000 years. Haplogroup A00 goes back 330,000 years based off the centimorgan that they use for the molecular clock to measure the locus of gene variants, or what we refer to as haplogroups, or the DNA. And his brother Assad Imhotep also stated, when it comes to the Nile Valley, the civilization comes later on. Africans was already going from all types of directions. Now, when it comes to a specific marker that most African Americans have and most West Africans have today, the offshoots of haplogroup EM96 that merged into the EV38 and the E3, well, later the E3B, but EV38, which is E1B1A, it clearly comes out of the highlands of Ethiopia, go through the Nile, then spend time in the Sahara, and intermingle with the early hunter-gatherers that was already living in the rainforests much earlier, the Adamawa groups, and started these Niger-Kaddofi and the Niger-Congo languages, predominantly Bantu language, Fula language, Yoruba, Akan. Yoruba is classified as Voltage Congo. Akan is classified as Alaki Congo. So all these different groups of people, which come from the Kordofan area of Sudan, which is Upper Egypt, Kordofan, groups migrate from the Kordofan area, go into West Africa, and intermingle with early groups of people who inhabited West Africa much earlier than when we got there, because people have been going backwards and forth for thousands of years. So as my brother stated, civilization comes later on from the Nile Valley. Not to mention also that people from Sahara and Lower Egypt go backwards, and Nubia go backwards and forward. You know, that's all I want to say.
All right, so basically you're saying that all human beings didn't come from the land that we would commonly call Simatawi or the land of Egypt. That's something I wanted to sit there and get clarified. Do I ask another question, or how does this go?
No, they don't. All humans don't come from that. No, we don't.
Do I ask another question, or how does this go?
Go ahead. Y'all got 45 minutes to question, bro.
Yeah. You got to ask your questions. Yeah, ask all your questions. If you want to pass to the next person on your team, you can do that.
Okay, I got you. Now I got one more question before I pass it over to the brother DiCaprio Yahawada or the brother King Yeshaya. In light of that, and saying that human beings basically come from, not from what we call commonly Egypt, Simatawi, Tomeri, Kemet, so forth and so on. So that all humans come from, like you were saying, if I heard you correctly, that the bones of the first humans were found over in what we call Ethiopia. Now, my next question then is, and I don't mean to be sarcastic or because we building as brethren, as men, these hunter-gatherers, I think I heard somebody mention, that was there prior to the other people migrating to Western Africa, forming the Futa, the Yoruba, and so forth and so on. Where did these hunter-gatherers come from, or are they part of the same group of people that descended from the original people from Ethiopia, if I may ask?
Yeah, these early hunter-gatherers came from the Omo Valley. It's just that they left at different time periods. Some of them came from the Uganda and Tanzania area, and they migrated into West Africa. A lot of them even went into the rainforests or the forests and developed something called insulin growth factor 1. And due to the poor level of vitamin D that they was getting in the rainforests for thousands of years, they became what we refer to as pygmies. We know that pygmies, they are old, or the pygmy group are old, but when you measure the oldest modern Homo sapiens sapien fossil that was found in the Omo Valley going back 195,000 years, he was not a pygmy. So with that being stated, we know when you develop something called insulin growth factor 1, not insulin growth factor 1 the way Caucasians do when they get ultraviolet rays, it affects their telomeres or the lifeline. Your telomeres is your lifeline and your gene variant. They have shorter lifeline. This is why a lot of pale-skinned people age quicker in the ultraviolet aging rays because of their lighter skin. But when it comes to the people that migrated into Western Africa prior before we got there, they left out much earlier. They developed mutation gene variants, and they went through mutations down there and developed different things. Not to mention some of these groups also bred with archaic humans that was lingering around those forests before we got there, thousands of years. I'm talking about thousands of years. And developed haplogroup A00, which goes back 338,000 years. And that Y chromosome is not even a modern Homo sapien Y chromosome. Wow. It's one of the first offshoots of Homo habilis, which goes into Homo rhodogenesis before it becomes Homo sapien adulto. So this is an archaic group that some of these people were breeding with in the rainforests. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. We under the impression that only Europeans or people that left out of Africa bred with Neanderthals outside of the continent, but you had archaic humans that was interbreeding with modern humans within the continent, and it's responsible for it's largely responsible for why a lot of us look the way we look, with the diversity of phenotypes.
All right, so I'm gonna pass the mic on because I know brothers is more equipped in the science department than myself, but. If I'm to understand what I'm being told,
we can't add to that answer, brother.
Hello.
Yeah, we can't add to that answer. Or that's all you want to answer, just in Goldie.
No, I was just going to sit there and just make a statement, then pass it on because we got the 45 minutes.
Go ahead. So you good with those answers, though? So you good?
Yeah. But I just had a statement to make, and then I was going to pass it on for somebody else, if that was okay. So if I'm understanding that the original human being bones was found in the in the Uganda, Ethiopia area, and then in time they mixed in with other people that were there before those first bones were found.
We make this, hold on, let's go down to South Africa first. They go all the way down to South Africa, right? During the glacial stage. You're looking at an ice age around 190,000 BCE, right? When humanity was damn near wiped out on the whole planet. As a matter of fact, you don't find any Homo sapiens sapiens at 190,000 BCE, but in South Africa. In the site PBB 13, Pinnacle Point, that's a cave where you find your first shellfish eaters, right? We find symbolic behavior. This is very, very important, right? Because this literally destroys religion. And the fact that your first symbolic thought or behavior is found in Africa at 190,000 BCE, Pinnacle Point. So you got rituals, you got iron ochre mixed with egg yolk to produce pigment, you got production of fire. And I'm not talking about just any kind of fire. I'm saying keeping fire at a certain temperature, okay, to melt the okra, okay, to develop tools. And so all the behavior you find in Africa, and there is no other humanity on the planet at 190,000 BCE. Then they make their way up out of that, and based off the different time periods, right, you'll find people migrating back to Nile Valley. Because if you go before that time period, around the Southern Thing period, you'll find all rivers are connected together. Right? When these rivers start to dry up, you'll find people migrating to the Nile. You want to add something to that, Sinjetti?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, SAR call just dropped, so we have him to call back, but everybody else is on. That.
All right. So y'all can hear me, right? Y'all can hear me?
Can't hear you. I can hear you now.
We're gonna crack this open. I want you to answer this for me, brother. Why is it that, matter of fact, no, the whole panel, actually, I want y'all to answer this for me. Why is it that you say you're just going to stick with the science relating to the African origins or the African central mindset of, being the people that develop civilization? Why you don't want to stick to the spirituality of it? You know what I'm saying? The gods that they believed in. And if you think that the gods are something different or metaphorical or a science, then I need you to explain a couple of things after you answer that first question for me.
All right, I'm going to go first. I mean, we can do the root of the word God. Well, that's a dramatic term, right?
Okay, let me wait. Hold on. Let me
finish my point.
Let me switch that.
I got you.
We ain't going to deal with God. The African
okay, you say the spirituality. I'm going to let me answer it.
Yeah, there we go. The legends are the spirituality that they basically conduct.
Let me answer it, right? And then I'm going to let Sinjetti get it. The point I want to make is that the way the African viewed the natural world, okay, is different from other groups that didn't have the planet. Each human being has the ability to view their natural world the way they want to. And so what you're calling spirituality to the African, it was science. It's the observation of the natural world. And so they recreated their world through different forces in nature, what they call natural root. This is science to the original African, looking at the natural world, right, and problem solving. You want to add something to that, Sinjetti? Because you didn't get a chance to speak.
Yeah, peace. Okay, so we do indeed utilize the spirituality of our African ancestors, which, again, we equate with science. Okay? Now, my brother, you mentioned the term like God, so we'll just use that for a second. Now, for African people, okay, God is existence, okay, and there's nothing that can exist outside of existence. Now, as our ancestor Dr. H.C. Hilliard once explained, is that, all right, first we observe natural phenomena, and then we recognize that there was phenomenon that was intangible, a force, okay, that was greater than ourselves. Now, different cultures, we call those different things, all right? So, for example, in Ifa, or in the Yoruba culture, we'll call one of the names of the greatest force is Olodumare, okay? We also may call this force Olorun, okay? Olo meaning like owner or lord of, okay? Orun, which means sky, all right? So this is allegorical, meaning that the creator is the owner of the sky or owner of all things within it, okay? In Kemet, we may say Nebercher, Neb, meaning owner of, lord of, as you might understand it, okay? And Jer, of all that exists. Jer, meaning the uppermost limit. So the lord or the owner of the uppermost limit, meaning the all. Okay, so with this being said, we do recognize what you described as God in African culture that has existed from the beginning and that continues to exist today. And I hope that answers your question, brother.
Yeah, it answers it, but it's still some things that, I got a problem with, and I want to keep going on with a couple more questions. And then I want my brother Jesus Caprio to take over after I ask a couple of these, and y'all answer. I'm going to pass the mic to him. Now, I respect that, and I have a full understanding of that because I know my African people definitely believe that there was a God. Well, I don't really want to say God in the sense. I know. Yeah, exactly. I know you don't agree with that. That's why I'm saying I agree with it.
Unequivocally.
Yeah, I agree with
it. I do not agree that we seen God the way the Asians.
Hold up.
Don't even agree. Let me finish answering the question.
I want to finish making my statement. First of all, I want to say this. We're not going to play semantic games here. We're not going to play with the word God. You know what I mean? You know what I mean when I say that. I'm talking about the spirit that the African ancestors believed in and that they still believe in today, that we're not just correlating these things with science. That's why I said I can agree with you, Brother Sinjetti, that God is existence, because when we're looking at it in its original concept and not the word phrase of it, that's exactly what God is, and that's what God will be to anybody who worships a particular deity. That's a fact. All right, that's a fact. Now, hold up. Now I'm going to ask the question.
Before you move on,
get some clarity. I thought you was being clear. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Get some clarity. My bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My apologies.
I wanted to get a bite out of that too, man.
Okay.
My phone's up.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
right.
Judge.
Okay. So now I just want to make something clear. The way that Brother Ankh uses the term God is different from how I'm using it. Okay?
I know.
Okay. Now hold on. So, when Brother Ankh uses the word God, okay, he's taking the Germanic trail of the etymological
Exactly.
Okay, we have to understand where he's coming from. I agree with Ankh, but the only reason I'm using the term is so that you and I can have, mutual understanding. Even though me personally, I don't really like the term, but so we can have ease of conversation. Go ahead.
That's why I was making it very clear that we're not talking about God in the word usage of today. We're talking about as far as, that's why I used the word, I said, let me rephrase the question. Your nature rules, or whatever spiritual deity that the Africans was worshiping, why do the brothers and sisters try to take that away from the African culture and say that it is just a science? That's what my question, that's how I try to rephrase my question. Because the word God,
you really can't separate spirit from spirituality, because most Africans thousands of years ago practiced an animistic system. They believed that everything in nature had a spirit. And scientists also believe that everything in nature has energy. At the core of a rock, you find protons, neutrons, and electrons. At the core of everything, there's energy behind everything.
That's right.
Animating all things. But what I'm saying is that science has always been around. Anytime a person was measuring things based off observation, the way the Egyptians dealt with astronomy, Neptune, the way they dealt with their ways of dealing with astronomy, this is like a natural satellite for us that we had 8,000 years ago to monitor the events of time and space. Or even with the ancient Phoenicians that lived in the Middle East at one point in time, the way they were able to sail the seas. It takes measurement. And it takes measurement for you to understand how to travel on a boat. That's science. They deal with a lot of observation. See, the term science even goes back to Kemet, Shia, or what we refer to as Tahuti's feminine counterpart, which is Shishak, which is also symbolic of measuring and observation. When you look at Tahuti on the wall, Tahuti, you show him depicted writing on papyrus, which is a symbol of recording data and writing it. The same thing when you deal with Gabriel, the angel, or Malik of Yahweh. It deals with distance and range. These are scopes of consciousness. So even the Paleo-Hebrew speakers that exist in the hills of the Middle East dealt with observation. These people dealt with farming, especially dealing with their cattle or their sheep going from one area to the next hill. It takes mathematical observation and for you to measure how the field works, for you to go from one point to the next. This is science. So what I'm saying is that you really can't separate it, because people always dealt with a sign of observation and measurement. Period. And the oldest ruler that was found on the planet goes back to Tanzania and Africa, called the Shango bone, going back 30,000 years. So people have always been dealing with a form of measurement, observation, recording.
I'm loving that. I'm loving that, because I want all the brothers and sisters that's listening to hear what this brother is saying, because this is the truth. So why is it that when we're engaging with brothers, you know what I'm saying? I'm not making this into no beef or anything like that. It's just questions that I have because of understanding that the brothers that I've been dealing with, been conveying to brothers on your side, has been acting like they're ignorant to the fact that we all hold a universal principle.
You're not letting me talk though. But you're not
okay,
letting
my
me
bad.
talk.
My bad. Go ahead, bro.
You gotta let me get mine in.
Bill,
At some point, you gotta let me get it in.
Go ahead.
Now I'm gonna make it
one
clear.
at a time, fellas. One at a time.
Let's deal with an environment that before the word God. That's what we really need to talk about here. Because as soon as you throw the word God out there, it all gets confused. And you probably didn't even understand what it goes he was talking about. He was talking about those who observe nature.
Yes.
Right? And admitted that there's power and force in nature.
Yes,
now, who
everything has a signature vibration. We know that.
Let me finish, bro. Everything in nature has the power.
Speak.
Listen, everything in nature has power and force. The African understood that from time immemorial. Read the book by John G. Jackson. Okay? Man, God, and Civilization. Right? So we understand that early man was observing his natural world and built technology. Early man wasn't on his hands and knees praying to nothingness. Absolutely not. They was dealing with their natural environment. And so we deal with our natural environment. And so we come to the article written by Asahutep, right? And it's called The African Origin of the Word God. And he says, in summary, the word God deals with two primary conceptualizations, distance and water. So to the African, right, they was talking about distance because when you look in the sky, it's endless. There is no end to the sky. And he was talking about water because water is a vital force in nature. They say the root has a primary meaning of sky, heaven, rain, top, upper, height, and age. That's why you hear Akhenaten, right? He deals with Aten, the sun disk. But not just any old sun disk, right? He's dealing with the sun disk at 12 o'clock high. Thus, the sun disk becomes the most high, 12 o'clock high. That is the hottest point of the sun. So he's giving you the power in the sun. So the African was talking about forces in nature. Now, watch this. It said God is a title of ownership, lordship, chiefs, kings, elders, and ancestors. So we was really talking about the ancestors. We was really talking about the elders, and we was talking about the chiefs and the kings, right? Title of rank is why African kings are divine kings, because they have rank. This is very, very simple. Let me move on. It say king is a guard, Mukulu, because he is the highest ranked person in society. So when y'all talk about God, y'all not talking about the highest ranked person in society. Y'all absolutely not talking about that. So let me move on. It say Africans have many gods because a god is an ancestor or elder. Are y'all talking about the ancestor and elder? No, you would argue me down for that. So this is the African conceptualization of what we were talking about when we dealt with our language and our custom, our tradition. Let me finish. Elders in the community are also gods. Kulu. Their age and wisdom provide them with special status in African society. They have a proven track record of service and have made major contributions to the expansion and sustaining of the community. Now, what in the hell has God brought us? Nothing.
No sweat.
Community.
Hold on, wait. Hold up, real quick.
Let me finish my point and I'm going to shut up, bro. It says, for this, they are given high status and title. Without understanding why God is God, one will never get the understanding the ancient Africans were conveying by the uses of this term. That's my point, man. So we're on two different roads, going in two separate directions, and I'm not going to let them cut me in that foolishness. I just want to shoot the first shot.
Right. Hold up, real quick, Jesus. Hold up. Now let me just go ahead and catch you up real quick. First of all, God in the Bible definitely does denote what you just explained. And first of all, we were called gods, people that judge their people that had sovereignty over particular groups of their people. So it perfectly conveys it once you understand the concept of it. And let's not get caught up on the word.
That's the word.
Let us not get caught up with the word God, because we're all intelligent on this phone, and we're not saying it so we can put some type of stigma on it that relates to a Christian or relates to
did, though, bro.
something
that did.
Well, okay, you're saying I did, but I actually didn't. But I actually didn't.
Now you come right back.
Hold up. Hey, yo.
Hold on.
Can I say something, bro?
You did that, though.
Can I say something, bro? Because no, I did not put it in that perspective.
Yes, you did, man. You said you don't know why.
I tried to recant I tried to recant
Okay. That's
my
all good.
question,
I got you.
and I said,
okay,
give it to me in the generalized term that you use it and that you know it to be, not today's term. I clearly said that, and if y'all didn't hear that, it's a problem. But the Bible does denote that exact definition that you just gave. Is nothing. It really no two different roles with that. Yes, it does denote that
way, bro.
We were called gods. We were called gods, which means judges. Yes, which means judges to us. All right? That means mighty ones. Hold up. Your definition was that a Bulu or a Dulu or a Dudu, whatever it was that you just said, was a sovereign or somebody that was over a particular people. And I'm telling you, the Bible says the same thing about Elohims, which means mighty ones.
What translation, brother?
What you mean with translation? If you go into any Hebrew text, if you want to deal with the Dead Sea Scrolls, if you want to deal with the Masoretic text, hell, if you want to deal with the Septuagint, Adonai, if you want to deal with any of those, that's mighty ones, brothers. So don't even play them games up here. We ain't gonna let you do that.
Man.
Now hold on. Now, brother DiCaprio. Brother DiCaprio. You can take it over now, bro, because he playing games, and we're gonna stop that tonight. Everybody gonna know what it is tonight.
All right, man. Come on, man. Let's move on to the next topic, yo. So we ain't seeing it the way Israel seen it on that God piece. Let's take that out.
No. What I'm saying is you're trying to push that we don't see it the way the Africans see it, but that is a lie.
Let's go to the next question.
Hello.
Let's go to the next
Can we go to the next question?
Yeah, go ahead. Next question.
Let me say something to him. This Jesus DiCaprio. How you feeling, Unc? You know who I am. This youngest boy out of Cleveland.
What's up? How you doing, bro?
No sweat. I want to ask a question to
Good to hear from you, brother.
Yes, sir. Now, my first question is this. I'm going to read something. This is from the book entitled Daily Life of the Egyptians, right? And it says this.
Who wrote it?
Let me tell you who wrote it. By Dimitri Meeks and Christine Favard Meeks. Now, check this out. Let me ask you something. It says this. Nanaeski Katawa is a deified female ancestor originally from the Akupim region of Ghana. Now, it is said that she became pregnant in her old age and died during childbirth. Check this out. As in the bosom, which is a modern-day Neteru, she functions as a protector of children and fertility, the same functions that Beth had. Okay. Women often seek her protection during pregnancy and delivery after childbirth. Nana Adede Kofi is a male warrior of bosom, strength, and preference, and is from the Ga area of Ghana. He is said to be the youngest of Nana Akodi's children. He is the obosom associated with iron and metal, and his sword is often used to swear oaths of allegiance. Tigre is the general name for a pantheon of obosoms from the northern region of Ghana. Popular throughout Ghana, Tigre lives in the forest and is a hunter who seeks truth and exposes lies and thieves. Now check this out. Momotia is a system of obosoms who are most recognized as dwarves, whose feet turn backwards. They live throughout Ghana in the forest and are highly skilled in the use of herbs. Considered the great spiritual gatekeepers of the Akan tradition, they specialize in working with nature spirits for the purpose of healing. Now, we see creatures living in the forest, bosoms living in the forest, should I say, with their feet turned backwards, teaching the science. And another question, this ties along right with it. Another question.
Was that a question?
Is it like a 2 or 3 part question, so you can tackle them all in a row?
Yeah, let's do it one at a time. One question at a time. So what was your original question, brother?
So
what's his question? I mean, he's comparing
This is my question.
Go ahead.
I got to get the people information so I can establish the basis of what I'm saying. This is my question. How is it that these obosoms, which are Orishas, which are Neterus, if you're giving out the interpretation that they observe nature and study science, what is these Neterus or obosoms with their feet turned backwards, living in trees and forests? How can we explain that? How can we put them in the context of a force of nature? And you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Look good, you guys.
Okay, so this is Brother Sanjetti. Peace, brother. And thank you for that question. All right, now, you named some aspects that this abosom represents, correct?
Say that again, King.
All right. This particular woman who died in childbirth and that became an ancestor, i.e., an abosom, as you explained.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you actually gave some categories in which she represents, right?
That's right.
Okay. Now, and can you give me like 2 or 3 of them real quick just to repeat?
Okay. She was as an abosom. She functioned as a child protector and
child protector. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1, child protector. 2,
fertility goddess.
Fertility goddess. Okay. 2. Okay. All right. In fact, we can just stop
let me
right
give you some more.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
that's what the woman. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. For 1, child protector. This is indeed a force of nature, because when you look at nature, let's take a lioness. What does a lioness do with her cubs? She is a protector of her cubs. Okay. When you look at any animal, okay, it could be birds, mammals, and humans. All right. So let's take humans out of it for a second. They all have the maternal instinct, as it's called in psychology and sociology. All right.
Okay.
Protection. Okay. So this phenomenon is a force of nature. Okay. Just like
so what you're saying, right? I understand. So what you're saying to me is this woman died and became a force of nature.
Okay. Became representative. Because again, remember, these are symbols.
Okay. Right. I understand what you're saying. But which force of nature would you say is responsible for childbirth? Which force of nature is responsible for that? Could you name off one?
Okay. All right. That is, okay. Hold on. No. That's a fair question. All right. So I'm going to take the mythology out of it and the symbols out of it and speak directly on human anatomy and physiology. Is that more so what you're looking for?
No, see, one thing, King. When we dealing with what I'm talking about, we going beyond the physical. We going about this woman dying, and she became a deified ancestor. We know how the ancestors can manifest themselves. We understand how energy never dies, how we just look for different forms of manifestation. We understand this. You get what I'm saying? We understand coming from the outside of space and time manifesting in this reality. We understand the parallel dimension, the third dimension, the fourth dimension. We understand these dimensions. You get what I'm saying? All the way down from however you want to call it. We understand that. But what I'm saying is this. When I'm saying is this, King, this is one portion of a deified ancestor, but I went to the Mamotia, which are a system of bosoms who are often recognized as dwarfs whose feet turn backwards. They live throughout Ghana in forests. This is what I'm saying. Now, when you deal with the force of nature, this woman here is performing the same acts. Her attributes is the same as what you would call Beth and Kemet. Beth's attributes, what was he doing? He was a protector of the young, and he was a fertility
But
guy.
could you let him explain the physiology of what he was going to say outside of the mythology? Because Africans also, certain tribes also exaggerate points too. Let's not act like they don't exaggerate things to try to make sense out of life. That's what
I understand what you're saying.
People create myths to make sense out of life.
I understand what you're saying. But take it outside mythology.
Let's bring order. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's bring order. Yes, I can hear you. Let's bring order. Because, but hold on. Let me get this in, my brother. What I'm saying is the reason why I asked you the question is because, we want to address your question point by point. You know what I'm saying? So again, you're explaining some good things. Listen, you're explaining. I'm sorry?
Let him deal, bro. He's gonna ask you a question. Trust me. Sinjetti heard you well. Trust me. Let the brother answer your question.
We don't have the time. No, what I'm saying is we don't have the time go to be a point by point. You get what I'm saying?
You asked the question point by point, though, brother. That's not fair. You asked the question, but the more you talk, the more you distract him, the more he can't answer your question. Let the brother answer your question.
King,
Jesus, just let him answer, Jesus. Let him answer, bro.
Yeah, like again, you give us a good point, but again, if you don't let me actually answer the question to the satisfaction, then we're not going to get anywhere. All those other questions, maybe we can get back to that later. Now, as far as human anatomy and physiology, it's the force that causes birth. without going into a whole bunch of detail. I mean, that occurs through, of course, hormones and circadian rhythm, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so
right.
I don't know if you're looking for me to catch it that way. Okay, but as far as the absolute that you mentioned, the sister who died in childbirth, keep in mind that humans are emotional creatures. So what did she do? She died giving childbirth. In other words, she sacrificed herself. She is a savior of her children and her descendants. So because human beings are very cognitive beings and emotional beings, since she sacrificed herself in childbirth, okay, because she died, she gave her life for her child. That's how that type of symbolism comes into being. Now, as far as the other aspects, I don't know if we have time to get into that, but, we're more than happy to answer those also.
That quick and easy. He answered your question. It didn't take that long.
No, see what he didn't do was I dealt with the entities that's living in the forest with their turn backwards. No,
hold on. No, but see, I answered your question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now,
he answered it based upon what they going to, evolve it to be.
Backwards living, yo. So you
hold on, wait a minute. Hey, check this, right? So you're trying to tell me that y'all say that the Africans basically observe the forces of nature, so they know that everything in nature has a signature vibration to it, right? So what I want y'all to do is this, for me, because what the brother Jesus just brought out, it should have just been answered. Why the hell is this woman being deified and being put and portrayed as a spirit, protecting other people?
Because that situation. Hold on, let me just let him go.
Let him finish his question.
That's philosophizing getting crazy. That situation of whoever that woman was, that took place in nature, it left an imprint on the people. And later on, the people deified the situation. They deified that situation. That's the closest answer.
So let me ask you.
Let me just say this.
What language is it? What language is the myth then? Do you know?
It's in the Quran. It's from Ghana. It's a Quran.
Let me relate.
Do you know that language? So do you know that language? Do you know that language?
It's in Niger Congo fight.
Right, but our Khan is part of the Niger Congo family. Niger Congo has a whole bunch of different languages. Yoruba, Fulani, Bantu, all is Niger Congo.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. See, best to ask your question with the song. How about you in the actual?
Let me ask you something real quick, Ngozi, because I know.
One second, Wayne. One second.
Okay. Let me give you something that you can relate to. I'm going to be like 10 seconds. I'm going to give you something to relate to. The same reason that this sister was deified will be the same reason in general why the Canaanite god El, all right, who was what? Was a Canaanite, was a warrior.
I'm hearing some feedback in the background, guys. If you have any feedback, just mute your buttons. Okay.
All right. It's the same reason why the Canaanite deity El, okay, and whom we can find a statue of in Chicago, in the museum in Chicago, the Oriental Institute, okay? And this was a father deity of the Canaanite pantheon who was a warrior and depicted as defeating two lions in one case, all right? Later on, he becomes deified, okay? And eventually makes it into the Israelite tradition, all right, as the word God, as you might understand, okay? So again, this was an ancestor. It was a symbolism that made it into your pantheon.
All right. Shinjay, hold on. I'm going to answer this question in 5 seconds. The same reason why you have the struggle between the agriculturalist farmers and the pastoralist nomads in the desert. That created the formula of the mythology of Osiris and Set. One group were pastoralists and the other group were farmers or agriculturalists. What I'm saying is that the Africans created myths based off what was going on in their environment or things that took place in nature. And we created myths to make sense out of life. That's why myths are created, to make sense out of life. Some things are exaggerated, some things are exaggerated, and some things is not. It depends on who's telling the story. Can I ask a question?
What I want, though, I want somebody to show me the Africans that said that.
Wayne,
said it to me.
Yeah, nobody said it to me.
Obviously, these people believe this. Obviously, these people believe this, man. And what I'm trying to say is this.
Hold on. Shalom. Let me just say this right quick, brother. To answer y'all questions, we know dwarfs don't exist in no goddamn rainforest because the cracker go over there and annihilate them motherfuckers, destroy their shit, take their land, China man is digging holes.
Keep it clean.
Let me just say this. It ain't one pygmy.
Hold up.
I knew that was going to happen.
Gotta keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
All right, okay. I'm gonna stay clean. Europeans colonized the rainforest. Asian men are colonizing the rainforest. They raping the women, and not one pygmy is jumping out stopping them. And none of the magic that people use is stopping the situation. So with that being said, we know that those are myths, and they were exaggerated based on really
Let me say something real quick. Let me get this thing. Now, Gozy, are you familiar? You said none of those are stopping the myth. Now, before I talk, these dwarfs was believed to be. Wait, 1 second. Don't cut me off. Let me finish this up. The dwarfs was believed to be great spiritual keepers, great spiritual teachers.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Can I talk about that? I can talk about that if you let me.
1 second. Listen, that's what I've been asking all along. People trying to spend 30 minutes on one.
So come on. Hey, Deuce.
You get what I'm saying?
Let me answer this.
Now, I want to ask this. I'm about to hand it to you, man. Check this out, fellas. This is from the book Legend of the Egyptian God, E.A. Wallace Budge, page 34. It was well known in Egypt and the Sudan at a very early period that if a magician obtained some portion of a person's body, e.g. hair, or a paring of nails, a fragment of skin, or a portion of some type of bodily fluids, spells could be cast upon them, which would have the effect of causing grievous harm to them to that person. That is E.A. Wallace Budge. Now,
that's primitive forensic science. That right there made way from forensic science and DNA understanding. That's some real shit right there.
I want to ask you brothers this.
I'm sorry.
With that, I want to ask you brothers this. Do you brothers practice?
Too many questions, man. You're not letting
me. Do you brothers practice?
Gun, bro.
Listen, do you brothers
you cannot ask 100 questions.
Divination.
Can you answer that first?
I'm not done answering. I didn't even ask it. I said, with that, here's the question.
You can't do that, man.
Let my man finish.
Hold on. You only have like 4 minutes left, so let me ask this question.
Yeah, okay, right.
Ask the question.
With that, here's the question. Do you guys practice, or do you adhere, or do you subscribe to magic, witchcraft, spiritual communication through practices of what we call the God, the shell tossing? Do you guys practice divination? Do you guys practice conjuring and channeling?
That's your question. Okay, we get it.
What is the question, yo?
This and goes.
What is the
I'm a
damn
Muslim.
question?
I'm a Muslim, but I'm a secular Muslim. But I'm Muslim. So with that being stated, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I won't bring my theology or my belief to scientific. I would never put that on the forefront. But I'm a Muslim, and everybody know I practice Islam, or they know I go in and out of it. So what does that mean?
Now, do you brothers practice the ancient spiritual systems of the Conditions as we just read in Wallace Budge that sounds so much like voodoo today?
I know Egyptian.
Okay,
First of all, I never said I was Egyptian. Second point, I'm just as African as my ancient ancestors were. So it's
right.
Let me finish, man. God damn, bro. I promise.
Yeah, let him finish.
When I ask you a question, I'm not going to overtalk you. I am telling you that we sit at the center of the universe, each and every one of us on this phone, and we have the ability to determine what we feel that we should practice to help us in our environment. Our environment routinely changes, so that which worked back then might not work now. This particular environment. We have different things going on right now.
Have you tried it?
And so let me finish. So to say you practice ancient Egyptian spirituality is dumb as hell. I'm letting you know that right now. Because African systems allow you the ability to change and to conform.
Have you tried spirit possession? Yes or no, man?
Right now.
Have you tried spirit possession? Yes or no? I don't care about whether it's relevant.
It's the dumbest thing ever, yo. You won't let me finish my point.
See, what happened is this. Let me make myself clear and then bow out.
You don't
Let me make
practice.
myself. He finished already. It's my time.
You don't practice.
Let me make myself. Brother, it's my time to ask y'all questions. I'm sufficient. Let me make myself clear and bow out.
My man, yo, why you let him get on here, man?
Now what this brother have just said is whether or not it's relevant or irrelevant today. He have not answered whether he practiced, whether he let spirits, the Orisha, enter his body.
Let me finish.
Listen, stop 1 second. You answered whether it was relevant to today. You didn't answer whether or not you practice these customs, magic, witchcraft, letting the Orisha or the natural root enter your body. Right. Listen, it was said that if a baby laughed for no reason, it was because Bess was making funny faces at him. Bess was said to run around the birthing chambers shaking his rattle to scare off evil demons. Bess is known as a force of nature also. How is a force of nature making a baby smile? How is a force of nature running around birthing chambers shaking his rattle? Explain this stuff to me. And explain to me, do you let the Nesharu get in you?
All right, time is up. Once again, it's the Roundtable episode 20. We got the Ahmed Ra squad in the building versus the War Council. Hopefully, you guys are taking down your notes. And again, brothers, one at a time. People are, they're taking down some notes. So I know it's a very emotional conversation and things of that nature. But let's try to dialogue and speak one at a time. And be mindful again. The listening audience is chiming in. You know that number 646-716-7320. So now we're gonna have the Ahmed Ra squad ask questions to the War Council. So I'm going to open up their phone lines again. It's going to be 45 minutes each. I'm going to set up this timer real quick. And remember, after this, we're going to take a 10-minute intermission break. And after that, we're going to come back and go to the people out there, hear what you guys got to say. Again, you know that number, 646-716-7320. Simply press the number 1, and we'll add you into the conversation. So let's get this thing started. Let me open up everybody's phone line again. Let's go back down the switchboard. And again, if you have any feedback in the background, fellas, just mute your mic because, sometimes I heard some feedback. But let's go down the switchboard. And I guess we can start off with Ngozi. You want to put a question out there? Go ahead. Ngozi, can you hear me?
Yo, I don't know. I can jump in and ask.
I'm right here.
I can ask a question.
All right, got ask a question.
All right, okay. To all y'all, give me one groundbreaking, brand new idea, original idea that the Hebrews gave the world, that without it, the world would not be where it is today. I'm listening. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Give me one.
I got
Go.
you. I got you.
Go.
Actually, when, I'm going to just put it like this. Submarines right now today would not be able to travel the way that they travel if they didn't understand or know that there was undersea water currents if they didn't read the Bible. That's one groundbreaking thing that the Bible has done for the world today as far as submarine science with navigation through the water. That's one.
All right, man.
They didn't know.
Okay,
hold up. Wait a minute. I got another one, though, because it's pertaining with the water this time, because I know you go, where's the Hebrew submarine at? That's the whole thing. That's what blows my mind. Where's the Hebrew submarine at?
Just keep moving, yo. So submarines. Okay, y'all both submarines.
All right.
Give me somebody else, yo. Nobody going to believe that, but give somebody else. Can't believe you said that, yo. You said that on Sal's show.
It's a next question?
No, I'm waiting for the next person. I want everybody.
Yeah, Moray and Shia, you there? Yeah, you want to reply to that, Moray and Shia? Yeah, Moray.
Yeah, shalom. First thing, King, shalom, if I can be heard. The groundbreaking work, and I don't mean to sit there inside the question, but getting back to, I'm going to incorporate my answer with the same question that I asked earlier. Do all black people come from what we call Egypt? And if all black people, can I please finish? So it can be understood, even if you already may not agree. What I am saying in my answer is I'm going to incorporate it with the question I asked previously.
Okay,
if all black people did not come from what we call Simatawi or Kemet, and as a branch of other black people, who then will ask, what civilization or what group of people brought something to the entire world. If Egypt is a child of another civilization, as much as the children of Israel is a branch off of the ancient Sumerian people, we have to then know and understand that language, linguistics, and trades and arts did pass down from people to people. So to look to a people that came along much later and then that's what they did for the world, while at the same token, everyone else is representing a people that break from another. Do you understand my point?
The Hebrews are more closer to Akkadians than Sumerians. We got to correct that because the Sumerians didn't even speak a Semitic language at all. It was first off, there is no such thing as a Semitic language.
Man. Go ahead, bro.
Please, there is no such thing as a Semitic language.
Sumerian syntax,
there is the term, right, linguistically.
And go,
you gotta let a brother answer. You gotta let a brother answer.
The term Sem is a Greek transliteration of the Hebrew
man. Answer your question, man. I don't want to change the subject because I know for a fact that
because that changes the whole topic subject.
Making that up.
Because
Hebrews stole those stories, man.
Being that Semitic languages don't exist, you create a whole other concept.
Man. They wasn't the same people.
And go, come on, bro. Come on, man. We got
right, but Sem does never existed, so they create a whole other reality by saying Semitic languages.
But get it in though, bro. We listening to you. I want to hear that.
Bro, that's my point with that. Just want to clarify that.
You didn't clarify. I said, give me
because people were interrupted.
Original idea. Come on, man. We do have a
when brothers
answer, let them answer, without interruption.
What I'm saying then is, if somebody's going to attempt to correct me by saying no, it's actually Akkadian, not Sumerian, I did by default. Can I finish?
No,
I did by default.
You wasting time. You buck dancing.
No, man. That was my thing. That's not Unc's thing. Answer Unc's question. I brought that up.
Come on, you dancing.
No, what I'm saying then is, when the brother actually, because each person wants to sit there and ask, what did the Israelites bring in? Basically, just to sit there and say, we want to claim a civilization where somebody did something for us, without having to do something for later on.
Look at them dance.
I'm speaking in general. That's my answer.
Watch them get out.
All right, that's your answer. You don't have one. So we got submarines and we got they don't know. Okay, go ahead, Sinjay.
I never said that.
They don't know. Now check this out. Let me ask you guys something. What other?
Hold on. You gotta answer. You gotta answer questions. You gotta answer the question.
That's what I'm doing. Now look, if we know that if you look at any other civilization, what civilization teaches against bestiality? It's abominable. But the nation of Israel. You get what I'm saying? No other nation.
So they no other nation teach against bestiality.
So listen. So
600 BCE, right?
Let brothers answer. Let brothers answer.
All right.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And the Chronicles of Ifa, written by Dise Kundeyo, and certain Odu Ifa, it explains that the Yoruba said that do not deal or have intercourse with animal species. They have literature in Nigeria that says that, the Yoruba. And the book is called The Chronicles of Ifa, written by a Babylon named Adise Ekunio, meaning one whose clear sorrow becomes joy. And they talk about bestiality and not doing it. And these are Africans. So that's a civilization outside of the biblical Hebrews, and they had nothing to do with Hebrews at all. These are people that come from the Kwe or the Kwa groups that formulated in the rainforest, came together collectively to form the Yoruba culture. That's it. And these people some of them descend from Nubia, some of them descend from the people that were already there. That's it.
Okay. Hold on. Let me say this. All right. This is Sanjeti. All right. As far as laws you mentioned about bestiality, etc. Now, let's say in Kemet, when we go into the either 36 declarations of innocence, people call it laws of Ma'at, or the 42 declarations of innocence. There's two sets. Because bestiality was not part of the culture, nor did it present a problem enough for them to make it a law. You may not find in the Perkim Haru or Book of Coming Forth by Day, all right, or the 42 laws of Ma'at, them saying, I shall not have intercourse with animals, because that's not something that they did, and it was not something that posed a problem. So they didn't have to make a law for it. because that's not something that was done by the people.
They may okay. Well, check this out, my king. When you deal with the
Nah,
Yoruba,
man, we go ahead, Jay. Ask him a question.
Wait a minute.
Ask y'all a question.
Wait a minute.
It's our turn. It's our turn.
I know.
Why y'all still asking us questions? Why can't
don't ask me a question.
I'm not asking questions.
Where's the moderator?
I'm not asking a question. I'm gonna respond to that. I'm not asking a question. I'm gonna respond to that.
No, you did. You said bestiality, dude. Now he has to ask a question. Jay, ask him a question.
Hold on.
This is the Armor Raw Squad time to ask questions. So let them ask their questions. Go ahead.
Okay. So I made a statement. Okay, hold on, because let's keep our order. So, brother, you said something about bestiality, etc. So, let's you and me dialogue. So, go ahead.
No, answer the questions, Jay. Don't let him get out the hook with Dave.
Ask him a question. Ask him a question.
I just wanted to respond, and he understood that.
All right. So he said something about bestiality. Okay. So I said to him that again, there's no custom of bestiality that we have in Kemet. Therefore, it won't pose a problem. Therefore, it's not going to reach the point of law. But he said,
get it. Correct.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
So my brother Sanjay is saying.
I understand what he's saying. I understand.
What is the relevance? In fact, hold on. Can
I respond?
No, I'm going to ask you the question, but your response will be incorporated into your response.
Okay.
What is the relevance of asking a question of bestiality, and what document from Kemet have you examined that made you want to ask that question? Remember, I'm repeat the question. What document?
I hear you. It's clear.
Okay.
It's clear.
Not quotes from Budge, but a document.
No, it's clear, King. Now check this out. No document I read for Kemet made me just want to ask that question now. What made me ask that question, and it was kind of a rhetorical question. What made me say it, because when we look, if we don't see nothing written, we have a written law. And you said just because it's not there because they didn't participate in it, but what stopped them from doing it? There's nothing written. There's nothing orally that stopped them from doing it. Then when you brought up the Ngozi brought up the Yoruba, you can link some of these Yoruba back to the people of Ghana. You can link some of these Yoruba back to the original Hebrews, the Israelites, who migrated. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. No, let them talk. No, let them talk. Go for it, brother.
First it was the Igbo people in Nigeria. Now it's the Yoruba. No, sir.
No, it's okay. No. Let them talk. No, bro. Keep going. I have another question for you. Keep going.
Okay. Now look. Now
go for it. Okay.
When you deal with a lot of these, when you deal with the Yoruba, the nations of the Yoruba or the tribes in the Yoruba, they dealt with one almighty God, but they believed this God had created lesser gods to interface with man. And what they said is the higher God ascended out into the farthest parts of heaven and left man down here to communicate with the lesser gods, which we would call today Orishas. You get what I'm saying? Modern day Neteru. So that's my point, King.
All right. Okay. So now, no. Hold on. So with that, that's a great point that you made.
Just like Nayame, just like Nayame.
I got you. My
you get what I'm saying?
Now, yeah. I already understand that. Now, that is no different than in your tradition, okay? We got El, or you may say Yahweh, and pardon me if I'm mispronouncing it, sends messengers or Malik down to earth. In English, they call them angels, to communicate with man and to intervene. It is no different. It's the exact same concept, which I'm sure you
and Yahweh had a wife. And Yahweh had a wife at one point.
Just to let you know, King Yeshaya called this drop, so he's not here at the moment. So it's only two brothers from the War Council on right now. That's Moray Yeshaya and
they're in trouble.
Wahawanda. Yes,
I'm in trouble.
Good.
Man, let him talk it to you, yo.
Let the brother finish what he was saying. Go ahead, finish what you were saying, King.
Okay. All right. All right, so again, we're all brothers here. So look, all right, so it's no different than Yahuwah sending down messengers or Malik, okay? Now, again, in one of our traditions, all right, because in my tradition of Ifa, we call it Orisha. These are forces of nature. It's no different from the Catholic Church. And again, I'm not saying that you brothers practice Catholicism, okay? However, they have what's called saints, okay? And they represent different aspects of nature. Just like in your tradition, you have, let's say angels, like Archangel Michael, who comes down and battles and defends Yahuwah or El. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, different angels.
I would say, but I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
But I would say it's not different, King, because with your Orishas, aren't you able to let them enter your body? With the messengers, the angels, which is nothing but a messenger, they don't enter your body. There's nowhere in the scriptures entering your body and taking over you. So with the
now actually,
and that the minute they take over your body, your soul be out of the body. The soul be out of the body, and the Orisha has entered. Like in African cosmology, they got different colors for them. You get what I'm saying? And the earth goddess,
King Yeshai is back, y'all. That's why you know King Yeshai is back. King Yeshai is back.
Okay.
Good.
Welcome, brother. Now I ask
these certain goddesses possession.
My brother. Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question. All right. Now, in the New Testament, does not the Rahu or the Spirit, or in Christianity called it Holy Spirit, did it not enter the body of Miriam? Did it not take her body and then give birth to? Okay. Did it not give birth to what? Yeshua, Hamashiach.
Right. Yes.
So the spirit of your God sends a part of itself or himself down into Maryam, right? And then it does what? And then Yeshua, Hamashiach, is now come forth from that. Is that not true? That's my question to you.
Yes.
Did it not take her body?
It's a difference, sir. It's a difference because when you're talking about Orisha, when you're talking about Orishas into the body, you're talking about entities that can manifest themselves and show you and being coaxed into lower frequencies. Listen, vibrating on lower frequencies. When we talking about the Holy Spirit, when we talking about the Holy Spirit, hear me out, King. Hear me out. When we talk about the Holy Spirit, what you're talking about is wisdom. What you're talking about is that highest vibration. That vibration goes back to the book of wisdom. That's the feminine principle that we call woman. That feminine principle was used to create everything. And that's why Jesus, listen, Christ said, I am the word. Listen, that's why in the beginning was the word was God. That's why Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. That's why Christ said, before Abraham was, I am. Christ was that wisdom manifested in the flesh.
All right, I got a question.
Okay.
I got a question, bro. Come on, Daddy. Come on.
That everything that scripture say, from invisible things, everything are made visible. So what you talking about?
For those who believe, and Goldie didn't ask a question yet. I just want to ask one question. For those that believe in intelligent design, and for those who believe in intelligent design, if you believe in the Cambridge period, why is it that we don't find rabbits or lions, organized organisms in the sense of that we see that debunk evolution? Could anyone answer that question? If anybody believes in the Cambridge period, why is it that you don't find fossils of organized organisms in the sense of structured organisms like a full-blown rabbit or a full-blown lion? Why most of the organisms, microorganisms or stem cells, which is unformed cells, why don't we see full blossom organisms or full blossom species like we see today, like a full body rabbit? Can anybody answer that question?
Yeah, because
it's very good.
Hear me?
The reason being for that.
Get a new phone.
Yeah, hold on. King Yeshai, let King Yeshai get in. Get King Yeshai, go ahead.
Because I know Yahweh ain't just build it. I know Yahweh just ain't make no rabbit 40 years ago.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, let King Yeshai go ahead. King Yeshai, go ahead.
All right, yeah. Now I was just trying to make sure if y'all heard me or not, whatever like that. My bad. Go ahead, Yahweh.
You kind of low, but you kind of low with yours. But go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Can you know that answer?
Yeah, we all hear you. Tom Sheikot.
All right. Right. So basically the question was, in the Cambrian explosion, if we subscribe to that, why don't we find fossils of rabbits and whatnot? That's a very, very hard assumption that you made. First, you're assuming that the Cambrian explosion actually represents geological age, which is actually false.
I never said that. You're not answering my question. You can't answer. You're going around and dancing. I'm asking why is there not any organized? I'm gonna say it again. Why is there not? I don't care how old it is. Why is it that you don't find any organized species like you follow? This is my question. I don't want to hear about. I'm talking about how old, because I never said that. I'm asking about species and fossils. Why is it that we don't see it the way a lot of people like to use? That's my question. That's all I'm asking, brother. If you don't know, just say it.
No. You just asked why don't we see full-size organisms in the bed, correct? Or did you want to rephrase it, or?
Why is it that we don't find fossils? Yes. Why is it that we don't find fossils of organized organism or structured species? That I'm talking about, like a full-body rabbit or a full-body whatever. At this time, at this time period, I'm just asking you that, brother. If you can answer it, answer it. If you can't,
the question, So the question you answered was an assumption that we had subscribed that the Cambrian explosion was a geological time. See, that's false. We don't subscribe to that. So therefore, why would we find or assume that rabbits should be in a geological time that you subscribe to, what you say is the beginning? See, so the Cambrian explosion, what it is a group of organisms that were fossilized. That was the assumption of this was the beginning of all organisms. But in fact, it is not. So if you look at an example, we have what's called the phosphate bed, or the Ashley phosphate beds in Carolina. In fact, there you find a collection of fossils together. In fact, in these fossils, you see both dinosaurs, mammals, including rhinoceros, elephant. You find man. That's why they call them that. Hold on, wait a minute. Let him finish. Please let me answer my question. Let me answer my question. Can I do that?
I'm not talking about no reptile/mammal or the predecessor of mammal.
No. I'm not talking about
a small mammal, brother. I'm not asking you about none of that.
Can I answer
none of that? I'm not.
You're asking me a question. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Because you're getting pseudo. You're doing a dance. That's that intelligent design dance.
Pseudo. Can I finish the question, please?
You're mixing truth up with falsehood. That's not cool, man.
All right, Ngozi, you asked. Okay, Ngozi, let me just ask you a very short question.
No, you can't ask me. No, you can't ask me. No. The question is not on me.
Hold on. Okay, Ngozi, wait a minute.
No, hold on.
Be civilized.
The question is not for
Let's be civilized, man. Hold on.
Hold on. Yeah. Well, I got order, man. Once again, let the brother answer the question. No matter how ridiculous it may sound to you, just let him answer the question. All right, so go ahead. You can answer.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, again, if you guys do some research, I'm sure it was a good thing that Sal told you guys to write things down and do research on your own. The Cambrian explosion is an explosion, or sort of the beginning point of when these organisms were found in the geological record, or it's supposed to be called the beginning of the geological record. So he's asking us, why don't we? It has a date which I don't subscribe to, which is exactly my point.
I don't subscribe to it. Okay, that's
right.
So you don't know. He just answered it. He just killed himself. He don't know. He don't subscribe to it, and he don't have to know because you're saying what you don't subscribe to. You never even measured the shit yourself. The stuff I'm not gonna curse.
Okay.
You never measured it yourself. You never use none of the tools to measure it. You just said you don't subscribe to it, meaning that you don't really know. This is philosophy. This is philosophy. You understand a process of Cambridge period. I can tell you do, but you never measured it yourself to say how old it really is.
Okay, wait a minute.
So I'm saying is that
hold on.
Let me finish. No. I gotta get at you. I gotta get at you. No, I can't let him off the. Let me finish. I'm almost finished. It's almost finished. It's a checkmate. You're done. It's a checkmate. You just said out your own mouth, I don't subscribe to it. The brother talked about an Asian date. You said I don't subscribe to that. So do you have you ever measured anything from Cambridge period to say what it is or what it's not? Have you measured the scholarship argument or anything to say what's the age and what's not? You haven't. You don't subscribe to it.
Do I have 2 minutes? Do I have 2 minutes to answer the question?
Yeah, go ahead and answer the question, man.
All right. The Cambrian explosion. or less commonly known as the Cambrian radiation, was the relatively short evolutionary event which began around 542 million years ago in the Cambrian period, during which most major animal phyla appeared. So as I said, which is factual, is that this is the period in which evolutionists, according to their so-called fossil geological record, say that this was the explosion or emergence of the first animal phylum. Now, what I'm going to do is get into what I was originally talking about. Now, when he mentions about these cross organisms in these Cambrian explosion beds, you have to consider, no, I'll answer the question. We do not see rabbits in the Cambrian explosion. However,
that's all I want.
We do have other phosphate beds or fossil beds known as the
What's the name of it, brother?
beds.
What's the name of it?
Phosphate beds. The Ashley phosphate beds, all right, has also the fossils of man, dinosaur, mammoth.
Hold on, go.
Yes, it has. Willis in his book, Fossils of the Phosphate Specimens in 1881, catalogs these. He says, and I quote, "One of the most fascinating fossil graveyards is located in the southern United States. The Ashley Beds is an enormous phosphate graveyard which contains a mix of man with land and sea animals, notably dinosaurs, plesiosaurs, whales, sharks, rhinos, horses, mastodons, mammoths, porpoises, elephants, deer, pigs, and dogs and sheep. Professor S.J. Holmes, a paleontologist and curator of the College of Charleston, Professor S.S. Holmes. He's a paleontologist and curator.
What's his name?
Come on, man. Here's the point.
No, I'm trying to get his name.
Okay, fine. It's fine. All right, let me just repeat his name.
And what time period? Hold on. What time period is he measuring?
Oh my gosh.
What time period? What time period with that? No, come on, it goes.
The people on the phone can research this stuff right now.
I know. I'm asking you. What's the time period did the guy get for it, brother?
The question is pointless because if you notice in my explanation of the phosphate bed.
Wait a minute.
Okay,
You said, Listen. No, you did.
Let me answer the question.
So you answered the question. Hold on.
I am answering the question.
And
can
you
we not
gave
do
us the
this?
thing. So I'm asking you, what time period is that bid in, brother? I can ask you that question.
Very good question. Okay,
you know what?
Now,
let's come on. You know we run out of time, guys. Let's ask somebody else. Let's ask somebody else another question. You want a question? All right,
I want to know what that time period is.
I really don't understand how you guys will allow a format or allow a debate.
He's done. He couldn't answer. He's playing games.
What are you talking about? He wouldn't let me finish.
No, he doesn't have anything. That's philosophy. That's philosophy and trash. He mixed up and he used a pseudo scholar.
All right, guys. Let's go. Come on. I'm a Rod Squad. You got to ask more questions, guys. We run out of time. Come on. You got some more questions to ask?
I ain't got nothing to ask. I ain't got nothing to ask.
Let me answer the question.
I want to know the archaeological survey on that particular time and the time period they measured that, brother.
Okay.
Hold on. I want to know the time period that they measure all these things at. Where you find the rhinos and the dinosaurs and all that. What's the time period on that, brother? That's my question.
He said 500 million years. Did you hear him? Very good. He said 500 million years. He said this occurred 500 million years ago. That's what he just said.
Did you say that?
You hear him?
No. You guys.
Let him answer. Let him answer.
Understand what I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying. I'm gonna say it plainly. Okay. You guys asked the question as far as a recent. I say recent in terms so people can understand. Recent mammalian, such as a rabbit. Would it fit in the
you answered that already, bro. We got that answer. We got that answer. You said no.
Okay, but you just said that. I
then you moved to something else. I know what I'm asking you now.
Hold on.
You answered it.
Please.
Why do you answered it already.
No, we don't want another question, guys.
When I'm on the phone with you, or I'm answering the question, you do this every single time.
Brother. No more walking.
Who's dancing?
My aunt now. Remember my aunt, fellas. My aunt, fellas. Remember my aunt, fellas.
I don't deal with my aunt like that. I'm West African.
You have any other questions for anybody else here?
Hold on, Sal. I told him he answered the question sufficient. I felt the answer was very pseudo. He gave a reference to one scientist guy. Okay, that's cool. So now my next question was, what time period did this particular curator, right?
Okay.
Curator. What museum is he a curator of? What time period does he give for the dinosaurs and the humans and all that mixed in? That's all I'm asking in the name of the book, dude. Come on, man.
Okay, very good. No problem.
Let him answer.
All right, no problem. Okay, fine. Okay, so you have Willis, who wrote Fossils and Phosphate Specimens, which spanned from 1881. Then you have S.S. Holmes, who did his research, and he also followed up from research that was done way back in 1870. However, there was continued research done by Keener J.C., who did another book about the false fake beds in South Carolina, and this was done in 1901. And you also have Watson, John Allen, Man, Dinosaurs, and Mammals Together, who was an evolutionist, who also revisited the site to explain it, which was done in 2001. So this was something that was discovered back in the 1800s and continued to be discovered even into this century. So again, I really don't understand what you're trying to get to.
I'm going to ask you one more time, yo. What is the date on this
I
particular
just told you.
bed? You didn't.
He's not actually. Listen, brother. He's not actually when they found it in the 1800s. He said, "What did these fake ass scientists say?"
Right. Now let me answer that question, which I was trying to do in the beginning. Now,
go ahead. Just answer.
As I was reading, listen. As I was reading the organisms, we have problems here. That is why I brought the Ashley beds up, because you have dinosaurs, which said to have lived or emerged 100 million years ago.
200 million years ago. 200 million years ago.
Come on, go.
Well, okay, I'm going to get to that, and I didn't have a chance to get to the question round, but I was really going to blast you on that. Now,
you can't.
When you look at that, you have whatever, man, because I'm answering the question straight up.
Let him answer.
When you look at, can I answer the question, please?
What's the age of the bed, bro? Come on with that.
Exactly. You cannot age the beds accurately using the scientific method of carbon dating or radioactive dating.
Okay, so you don't have a date? Okay, I heard you. You said you can't make sure you don't really have a date for it, right?
If I have,
correct.
Let me ask you a question,
No, you just said you don't have a date for it.
No, it's not y'all time. You can't ask us nothing.
It's their time to ask questions right now. I'm Ross Squad trying to ask questions right now. Let me ask you a question. I'm Ross Squad.
I have a question.
All right, you fine. Come on, man. Easy down a little bit, man. You did all that to say you don't know. I don't know.
No.
Look at this.
I'm going to the next question.
Hold on.
I'm going to the next question.
What I'm saying is,
moving on.
The questions you're asking.
We're moving on, dude. Let it go.
Ahead, bro.
You don't know. You don't.
On to the next question.
You don't have a date.
Come on, man.
Next question.
Discussion, man.
All right. Get out. Okay. All right.
Next question. Here's my question. Chimpanzees, right? Mm-hmm. What's your explanation for two separate organisms sharing 98% DNA? What's your explanation for that?
Okay. Well, the explanation is that, it's said that chimps are 98.4% identical to human beings. Is that true? First off, the chimp DNA is actually 12% longer than the human. So, first off, the first thing is it's not even mathematically possible. So how is it even possible to say the human genome is 98.4% identical? It doesn't make sense. The human genome is 3.2 billion base pairs long. 98.4% identical would mean a 1.6% difference, which would equate to 51,200,000 base pairs. So these are how many changes we have between chimps and human beings. So
he's regurgitating Dan Brown. A lot of intelligent design people. He's used a lot of intelligent design.
Let him get it out.
No, I'm not. You're saying,
yes, you are, brother. You're making that up.
Hold on, brother. Can I answer the question?
Let him get it out.
Yeah, you gotta let him answer the question.
Okay, hold on. It's just a basic mathematical problem. If chimp DNA is 12% longer than human DNA, then
that ain't got nothing to do with the chromosomes or autosomal DNA. The limb has nothing to do with autosomal.
Oh my God, man. Okay.
He ain't got the tools to measure that to say that's what it is. That's that intelligent design shit. I'm gonna put that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the YouTube video up that you're using.
That's the third bomb right there, brother. That's the third bomb, man.
Right.
He's using the language, brother. Come on, man. He's doing the language, dude.
All right.
Go to the next one.
Okay.
So you saying chimpanzees and humans don't share any DNA at all?
Did you guys get my first answer? Did you guys get my first answer?
Yeah, I heard you. You said it's longer. Human DNA. You said human. So you're basically saying that there's no shared DNA between chimps and humans at all?
No. First off, I want you to repeat my answer because you said something incorrect.
Man, come on, dude. We heard what you said, man.
No. That proves that you weren't listening because you said the human DNA.
No, I heard you. You said it's 12% longer, man. Did you not say that?
Whose DNA is 12% longer? Whose DNA is 12% longer?
You said humans.
No.
He said chimps. He said chimps.
Okay, chimps is not listening. Okay.
Okay,
right,
so
go
okay.
ahead. Answer the question now.
Okay, so now so you're saying that humans and chimps share no DNA at all?
No, I'm saying they do, but you got to understand the type of DNA that they share.
Stop.
You're
Stop.
done. You're done.
So
you're
my
done.
question to you is, what
Go
is
ahead.
that answer? What is that answer, right, that you can observe why chimps and humans have any of the same DNA? What's your answer?
Okay, well, first off, we have to look at how this whole thing started. In the 1970s,
just answer the
there was,
question.
dude, can we educate
No,
people?
answer the question. We don't want to hear what you regurgitate. You're regurgitating a lot of intelligent design crap. I'm going to pull up the video that you used.
Man.
No
y'all
regurgitation.
guys are something else, man.
Just to let y'all know, King Yeshaya dropped out again. Trying to find a brother,
That's
but
good. That's good.
there's only two here.
He's running. He's actually running. He's running for
let's let Moray Shia get in here though. Moray Shia, go ahead.
I don't understand with this whole format. You guys ask me a question when I begin to answer, then it's all something's an issue.
No, go ahead. You're not answering the question. You buck dance, but go ahead and answer like you want to.
How am I buck dancing?
I promise you. I said why. I said, do they share in any DNA? You said yes, and I said why. So go ahead, answer the why, bro.
All right.
I ain't want to talk about 1970. Watch this.
The original. What's that now?
No, go ahead. Bring up something that you regurgitated.
Let him answer.
Let him get it out. Let him answer.
It's all education. This is how they came up with this stuff.
Time running out. Time running out. Let him get it out.
No problem. All right, so basically, the DNA that they originally tried to associate or say that was the same as chimps was actually something called reassociation, in which what they did was they took the DNA and they split it down the middle to make two RNA strands. And what they did was they took the both sides of the DNA strand, or these RNA strands, because they're only one-sided and they don't have uracil in them. They tried to see which ones would associate with one another. Well, there was a problem. Only 2% of that line actually fused to one another. And the ones that weren't there, geneticists assumed were gaps in the evolutionary theory. So they took these indels that were in the code and say that these didn't exist during the evolutionary process. So it was only 2% of the DNA that they were able to match up within that RNA strand, or those two RNA strands. So in reality, chimps and human beings only share the common protein folding structures that are required to make things such as bone, the digits on the hand.
Source. Where is that published at? Source.
Intelligent design.
Nope. Source.
No. No, it's fine. To be honest, I am regurgitating from the top of my head because from when I read and known, but I'll be more than happy. I will be more.
I'll tell y'all.
Okay.
Honest. That's fine. Hold on. At least you're honest.
No. Let me get in this.
Don't have the
everybody stop. Let me get in it. All right, brother. This is Jetty. I appreciate your honesty. Okay.
Yep.
Now let me explain something. Let me explain something about DNA comparison. Now, you mentioned that they took a strand, an RNA strand from human and an RNA strand from the monkey. Is that correct? Just a yes or no? Just a yes or no? Yes?
Not quite.
Okay. All right, hold on.
The reason why I use the term...
No, because we're running out of time. Hold on, because I don't want everybody talking at the same time. You mentioned RNA strand. Now, when scientists, when geneticists compare, the only thing that they can mainly use samples. So if only 2% is found, and again, I put this in the article, it's only from the sample that they use, not the entire genome. Okay? And again, I'm speaking because I have biology background, and I did classes in molecular biology and genetics. Okay, cool. So in the laboratory, this is actually how it's done. Okay? Which is the same reason why African Americans, and again, I'm using that term loosely, submit their DNA through saliva to a company to find out their ancestry. Different companies will come up with different things because they can only go off of the samples that they have. Okay, so a strand of DNA may not be the entire gene, not the entire genome, which will account for the discrepancies that you'll get. So when you're reading those articles, you'll see numbers like 32%. And then behind it, you'll see a number like, say, 14, and plus signs and a minus 500, meaning that's the margin of error, because they don't have the entire thing. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? All right, now.
Yes. Yep.
All right. I really want us to move on. I have a question. Okay. Now, in our, I guess, last discussion, It was a question about witchcraft. It was a question about nation, etc. All right. Now, my question to you, not you particularly on this one, do y'all practice divination in any shape, form, or fashion? Okay. And when I say divination, let me be clear. Do you have in your tradition any of your prophets who go to a physical object for the purpose of talking to God? And does that physical object, is it God?
Wait, ask that again, because I can't even hear you.
Okay. Divination, okay, is when people or a person uses physical objects, okay, in order for the purpose of communicating with the unseen or angels,
such as the practice of the ka.
Hold on, because I don't do the talking over each other. All right. So with that definition, okay, do you practice divination? Yes or no? Please keep it short.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, absolutely not. That's the answer. Got you. Anyone else want to answer that? Please keep it short.
All right. Well, I don't go nowhere I don't use anything physical to try to connect with the Most High. First of all, I just connect to the Most High. I just talk to the Most High. Like, I just pray to the Most High. That's it. You know what I mean? I don't hold no ankh. I don't hold no cross. I don't go into a veil, and I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? As far as the definition.
That's all I need. I got you saying clear. All right, that's all I need. Next person. Anybody else want to answer them quick? Because I have another part to the question. No? Well,
you there? Yeshaya, you there?
Yeah, he said no sorcery his way. He said bring out the sorcery part too, should he say. He said he don't deal with divination or sorcery.
Okay.
Or stars.
Okay.
I don't deal with it. I just came back to my phone. I don't deal with it, but go ahead, brother.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fair enough. And I can respect your responses. Now, the reason why I'm asking that question and the basis of your question to us is that the Ark of the Covenant found in what's called the Old Testament. I understand y'all use a different word for it, but we have the same understanding. All right. Does not Moshe use the Ark of the Covenant to go behind a curtain or veil, whatever word you want to use, all right, for the purpose of communicating with the Most High? And he does this because, again, the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark of the Covenant is a physical object being used by one of your prophets as a medium to communicate with the Most High. Now, you may want to use, I don't know if y'all do, I've heard Hebrew, okay? They'll use different words, but the action is the exact, okay? You do not have in your tradition what's called Urim and Thummim. Is that not divination as found? Let me see. I think that's 1 Samuel 14. Let me see. What else do we have here? 1 Samuel 14. I want you to look at. I'm quite sure you're familiar with it. Urim and Thummim, which is a type of divination. Now they may use different words for it.
All right. Okay. Can I make I'm gonna answer it, and I want to answer with making a statement, and I want to pass it to somebody.
No, we don't want a statement. We just want to answer.
First of all, no. I'm going to answer the way I want to. Ain't nobody going to tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Just answer the question. Just answer the question.
I'm going to answer
4 minutes left.
But I'm going to answer the question. I'm going to answer this question with clarity. So fall back, bro. So check this. Okay. First of all, the question that you asked us was, do we practice divination? We said no. Now, according to your definition, yes. According to the definition, that would be divination according to what we would call the Torah. Yes, indeed. Okay? And there's a classification with these words because divination by outside sources was always the problem with the Most High. It wasn't the fact that you were actually doing what he was telling you to do and that caused some divine connection between you and him. Now I'm going to pass it to Morgan because he can actually expound on the word, okay, of which the divination or the Hebrew word that will be placed there and not the actual English word divination by your standards. All right, so.
Okay, now hold on. Now, as he answered that, Okay? I'm going to, according to your definition of how I'm assuming God gave instructions.
I gave you the context. I gave you the context of how that word will be used.
Okay, I got you. So from your perspective, the type of divination that's in your tradition, this is something that was given that you were given instructions from the Most High. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So I know you want to pass to one of your brothers, and then I'm going to.
No, I got another question.
No.
We only got 4 minutes left.
Note that he said ancestors too. In his question, note that he said ancestors. We don't consider the Most High an ancestor. Note that. Let that be noted, brother. Let that be noted.
Okay, it's noted, bro.
Let that be noted. It's a difference between the ancestors and the Most High. When you mention ancestors in your question, we don't deal with the ancestors.
Come on, Sinjetti, we heard them. Yo, they know they practice divination in the Bible.
He said ancestors in his question. Sinjetti, did you not include ancestors in your question?
Yes. Now, let me.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. Everybody,
we don't
stop.
deal with that.
My brother. Okay.
All right, and
now,
goes. That's Sinjetti.
Hold on, because y'all not.
That's the buzzer. Yo, we got like 1 minute left, yo. You can use the whole 4 minutes, yo.
Okay, but
we heard them buck dance.
I
know, but hold on, but Sinjetti, we heard them. They all act like they don't do it. So my last question is, hold on, man, let me finish.
Let me get his question now. Let me get his question now. Only 2 minutes left. Let him get his question.
Question. You had him for 4 minutes, yo. Let me ask. Let him ask his question. Come on, man.
Keep interrupting that question. All right. Now we have in Ifa. There's a tradition where the Most High gives instructions to Arumila on how to do divination. So we already had that. All right. Go ahead,
My question to everybody on the panel: how do you know you're talking to the Most High?
Let me start real quick right there. Let me beat your question up. Beat the hell out your question. First of all, I'm about to answer it, brother. I'm about to answer it, brother, because y'all tactics is whack as hell. Going over people and stuff like that. So calm down, bro. Let me answer it. I'm trying to answer it. You talking, bro. Stop running your jibs. So check this. I know that I'm talking to the Most High because I do not deify aspects of nature by their vibrational signatures. I do not act like they're science, and I'm going to give it its own personal, building and go pray to the, whatever it is that anybody back then was doing, praying to the tree god, the water god, whatever the hell you wanted to call it. I actually put the whole body in perspective. I'm praying to the unity of all things, the one, the exact. So I'm getting my answer from the one and exact, which is everything in existence. I don't go and
Man, oh man. Time is up. All right, once again, it's the Roundtable, episode 20. We have the Armin Ra Squad versus the War Council. Again, the number is 646-716-7320. So we just heard from both sides. Both sides had 45 minutes to ask each other questions. And hopefully you guys took down some notes. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a 10-minute break. We're going to come back and go to the people out there. I know the people got some questions out there that's listening to the show. Once you call in, it's press number 1, and we'll add you into the conversation. Again, I appreciate both groups, Armin Ra Squad and the War Council, for coming on tonight. As a matter of fact, during that last few minutes of the show, and Ngozi line dropped. Hopefully he calls back. But we're going to take a 10-minute break, guys. We'll be right back after these messages. Stand by. Make sure you call in with your questions and your comments. It's press number 1 and stand by. Don't you go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the planets of the beats, the Beat Talking Radio.
Yo, Shalom, Call Allah Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. It's Brother Chief Priest Alazar Bun Lawyer, a.k.a. the Gorilla Hebrew, representing Exodus 17:15, a.k.a. the Sect of the Sakari. And you know where I'm at. Every Friday, the Lion's Den, with Sal Showtime on Debate Talk for You. You can catch me on there often, ripping somebody's head off, tearing down some false doctrine. Big shout out to all of the Debate Talk for You family and listeners and supporters out there. You know, keep supporting the movement, and you know, beautiful edification is getting put out to the masses right now. So again, you know, shalom and call halal Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai.
My name's Kiaja, and if you want to hear the best debates in the world, come check out Debate Talk for You, hosted by my dad, Sal Showtime. Bye.
Peace and assalamu alaikum. This is Raheem Ali, your expert investigative reporter. Checking out the Lion's Den Debate Talk for You with your great host, Sal Showtime.
Yeah, shalom. I want to give a shout out to Sal at Debate Talk for You. What's going on? Hey, Debate Talk for You is where it's at. You know, get your verses straight, put your cell phone record, come on board, present what you got. If anyone try to cut you off, Sal will just mute that guy's mic. You know, he'll let you express what you got. He'll let you present what you studied for. Let the audience decide if what you got, you know, is inside the scriptures. Debate Talk for You, once again, shout out to Sal. Terrific job. Hey, you can press it number 1 or find yourself on a Lion's Den.
This one's for the fans out there all across the world. This is Debate Talk for You Radio. I'm your host, Sal Showtime. And I just want to remind everybody that we're trying to do a live debate next year, 2016. We got the GoFundMe website up. If you want to support, we got thousands of listeners all across the globe. Let's go to the website, www.gofundme.com/debatetalkforyoulive. Your support will determine whether we go to the next level. So once again, let's make this happen. The live event in New York City for next year, 2016. That's www.gofundme.com/debatetalkforyoulive. One love. It's Debate Talk for You Radio. I'm your host, Showtime, and I just want to take this time to thank each and every listener out there that's been tuning in from Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and all of you that call in while down in that number, 646-716-7320. You know, it's all about the people getting answers to their questions, and we love the fact that you tune in each and every week. So one love to all the people all over the world that check out Debate Talk for You Radio on your phone, via Skype, or via website at www.blogtalkradio.com/Debate Talk for You. And remember, we're on YouTube as well, so subscribe and support the brand.
Greatness attracts greatness. Talk with the Titans host here, Callum L, and you're now locked into Debate Talk for You Radio.
Scarecrow, hey sister, I'm right, yeah. Keep on being on. Hey brother, you know ya, you got to be strong. You're grinding, you're riding right through the storm. It won't be long. It won't be long.
This not everybody tribulation. Specific to Israel, not the imitation. I know your poverty and struggle can get irritating. In the house of Jacob, the Father Spirit, the installation kept it warm when it was vacant, cause he has the patience. It's a fight to the end, I pray you never fainting. But it's hard to keep the love in the world of hating. You gotta play every game, no simulating. Single mother, 3 kids, had to still start. Who don't need riches but a man with a big heart. Just praying it be a little different this time. Fell in love with 3 men who had the same mind. Crying every day, hoping that she make it out. She would feel better if she just erased it out. Just take it one day at a time this year. Worry about tomorrow when it get here.
Hey sister, I'm right, yeah. Keep on being on. Hey brother, you know ya, you got to be strong. You're grinding, you're riding right through the storm, and it won't be long. It won't be long.
You are now inside the Lion's Den. Welcome to the Beat Talk for You Radio.
Shalom, shalom, Sal Showtime, and all the Debate Talk for You listening audience. This is Mikael Ben Yisrael, yours truly, coming straight out of Chi-Town. LG Love all day. This the best show in the nation that brings the young conscious minds to awaken the dead. Keep doing your thing, Showtime. We're going to keep bringing in truth. In Jesus' name, the Mashiach. Shalom to all the nation of Israel.
Where we came from, we ain't know how we got here. They all know. We came on the bottom of the belly of the slave ship. Hey, the bottom of the belly of the slave ship. Where we came from, we ain't know how we got here. They all know. We came on the bottom of the belly of the slave ship. Hey, the bottom of the belly of the slave ship. They say get on your knees, they say get on the float. They said go get some chains, cause now it's time to rope. Now line up in single file, let's separate the men now. Let's destroy their crown, depopulation begins now. Now let's tell them our history, cause this is our story. They fell from their glory, now this is our glory. This is our rule, this is our reign. So bye bye to your home, you'll never see it again. And don't you dare try to blame us. You did it to your own self, Where we came from, we ain't know how we got here. They all know. We came on the bottom of the belly of the slave ship. Hey, the bottom of the belly of the slave ship. Where we came from, we ain't know how we got here. They all know. We came on the bottom of the belly of the bottom of the belly of the bottom of the belly of the bottom of the.
Yeah, buddy, this your boy LeBron Campbell, a.k.a. Bust the Bible Like a Rifle. I just want to give a shout-out to my man Sal Showtime. Keep doing your thing on Debate Talk for You, where everybody want to hear the best debates around the globe.
If we go to war, I'm by the side of my Judah. Even if we die, I won't feel like a loser. Cause when we outside, I always do it for the ruler. Till the other tribes come, I'ma be with my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. Gotta love my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. Okay, look. Street preacher bros go in for the fam. Haters try to block, I go in for the jam. Looking for some truth, homeboy, we got it. When you connecting dots, it ain't hard to be spotted. When open they eyes, everybody frontin'. Give them real history, they say that I'm bugging. Want me to come chill, but they ain't doing nothing. Hanging around borders death in the 1800s, 1900s. So I come chill when it really means something. Smile up in your face, but they really mean mugging. Your phone will never ring unless they really need something. And won't call back, they like, John boy cool, but he ain't all that. All we do is move forward, everybody fall back. Put my life on the line for the Father and I risk it. So in the truth, I take the you, then I flip it. My Judah, by the side of my Judah. Even if we die, I won't feel like a loser. Cause when we outside, I always do it for the ruler. Till the other tribes come, I'ma be with my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. Gotta love my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. My Judah, my Judah. Crash the board, sharp minds clash with swords. Deck y'all with the deck of
Welcome to the planets of the beats, the Beat Talk for You Radio.
This is Renald Francoeur representing from Atlanta, Georgia. And when I'm not busy in the studio, I'm checking out Debate Talk for You Radio. Keep up the great work, Sal Showtime.
All right, people, we are definitely back. Once again, it's the Roundtable episode 20. I know you guys enjoyed this particular show. And again, I know there's a lot of people standing by right now waiting to ask their questions. Again, I'm going to ask you guys, once again, there's no foul language, guys. Keep it clean, keep it professional, and allow the person to speak once they, you ask a question or whatever. So we're going to go to the first caller. Let me open up everybody's phone line once again. And again, the number is 646-716-7320. If you're listening on social media, you can call in via phone, via Skype, or the international listeners, you got to call in via Skype or press number 1. And once again, we're going to go to the people out there to see what you guys got to say. And after that, we're going to get some final statements from the special guests. And, again, it's going to be in the archive. So if you missed any part of the show, you can always go back and go check it out. www.blogtalkradio.com/debate talk for you. So let's go to the phone lines. Let's see who's out here. Let's go to the phone lines. All right, we're going to go to our Skype caller. We got a Skype caller here. We're on Debate Talk for you. Can you hear me? Skype caller? Hello? All right, just got to go to the next person. Let's see. Let's go to 443-939. You're live in air.
Hey, what's up, sir? What's up? I say hello and Shabbat Shalom to both sides. I don't have no question. I just a comment for real. I can truly say that this is the edification that get brought forth or is supposed to get brought forth is for the people. And the people can see what went on tonight. Sal, I've been dealing with Debate Talk for You for a little minute now, and I can clearly say tonight I really didn't gain nothing from it because it didn't feel like a scholarly debate. You know what I mean?
True.
Like it feel like I'm in the street where guys have no respect. You jump in there and can't let a guy get something out. You hear something like regurgitating. Like every bit of knowledge we know out here, in some sense of way, is regurgitated. You know what I mean? And it just don't make no sense. I'm looking for like patience, scholarship, respect, and like I said, it's for the people. If we could get something out of it, we could go somewhere. But this whole 2-hour debate, you still didn't hear the Amon Ra side come with what they founded on. They don't have no book where they could say, well, this is where we got this from. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like weak on that side, and that's all I got to say.
All right, Sinjetti, you want to go ahead and respond to that?
Okay. I can definitely appreciate the brother's input, and I do agree with him to a large extent. That again, we had 2 hours, we had questions, etc. And I think that questions from the Hebrew side to us, I think should have led to more information, and I'll say that even on the Amara Squad side. All right. I was really hoping to get a question about, let's say, about Kemetic documentation, because again, that's something that I deal with very intimately. Okay. Like if someone says, okay, well, where's your creation myth per se? How do ancient Kemet, how do they view the universe, etc.? And I would have been able to read directly from Kemetic documents and give a step-by-step breakdown. I was really hoping for something like that because I know that that's not something that's spoken about hardly ever in these circles. So I was really hoping for that. And I'm still willing to answer if someone has any questions concerning Kemetic documentation.
Yeah, we're going to let the War Council reply as well. I'm still looking for Ankh, the God Killer, and Ngozi. They call us having to drop early. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Brother Ankh's call dropped, so just look for his number and just pick it back in.
Yeah, I'm trying to find his number on the switchboard. Let me go with Morey Shai. You want to respond?
Okay, shalom. I didn't speak much in presentations. I only had a couple of questions. And to sit there and ask, as I stated, I'm not really heavy in science. So I know when to speak and when not to speak. And if I don't know science and fossils and dates and strata, I keep my mouth shut when I don't know certain things and sit back and learn. That's one thing. Secondly, I agree with the caller who called in because I'm looking to sit there and get some information. I read. I'm actually in the process, not that it's about me, studying other linguistics. That's how I know Shem and Sem is a myth to say Sem, but that's neither here nor there. Point is, it did seem kind of like there was no a lack of organization or a lack of tact to a certain extent. And those who are really open-minded, who are probably trying to see, well, do they side with the House of Israel and what they're saying, or do they side with the Amirah Squad and what they're saying? A lot of people, I believe, is going to just go back and say, I'm going to go back to what I know after hearing those 2 hours.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Can I get in, Sal?
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to apologize to the listening audience, man. You know what I'm saying? To even allow them to get up underneath my skin, right, with that back and forth is a bunch of foolery. And at the end of the day, when we go back and forth, I think it's a tactic, so can't nobody really hear what we're really saying. And so y'all know what we stand on. We stand on the natural world, which is nature. And the only way to study the natural world is through science. That is an African custom and tradition. It is the foundation to which modern science is laid on. So y'all know what it is. We deal with the real world, the natural world. We are natural people. Everybody on this phone are natural people. Natural people create reading, writing, and all the sciences. Now, the supernatural, we do not deal with the supernatural. It's 2015, and we don't deal with the supernatural. That's not to say that people during time have not dealt with that. But we have realized, right, that dealing with the supernatural gets you absolutely nowhere. Not to mention, African cosmology is triple layered. You got 3-4 different layers, and maybe some Jetty can get into that. Okay, so at the end of the day, come on, man. Y'all know what we deal with. We deal with the real world. Plain and simple.
All right, let me get King and Shia real quickly, and we got some more callers standing by. Go ahead.
And tell that caller stop hating, man.
Yeah, I would just like to say this. First and foremost, brothers really don't like the fact that we can bring some information, or they might not even agree with what we're saying, but they act like they don't understand why we're saying what we're saying. See, as intellectuals, if I was to come in this conversation and use a word like God, you know that I'm not talking about the God that's generalized in Christianity. So brothers know this already. Brothers already know this, but see, it's words that they have to play on, getting into semantics, and then take it here and there. And then for another thing, too, brothers be with this tactic stuff, not letting my man Yahweh speak because he can hold his own when it comes down to this science. He has done it before. So I just want all y'all listeners out there, this is an example to show you that when you actually are astute and you're bringing information and knowledge that will challenge those who go off of mainstream, you would see childish things being done, like you're running and stupid stuff like that. And see, that stuff causes emotion, which is all right. We all deal with that. We all brothers up here. But the simple fact of the matter is, y'all can check out what we're saying, and y'all can read what the ancestors said. Not what Amen Ra said, not what War Council said. Go read what who his Shepsut was praying to. Go read who Imhotep was praying to. And yes, I will clarify this for that time. Yes, the ancestors did worship, or they did understand certain aspects of nature, which all aspects of nature have a vibrational signature. But the whole fact of the matter is the vibrational signature is what actually carries the force or the life force, okay, that we're talking about when we're worshiping our Creator. That's why we do not deify the tree or the sun. We don't have a temple for the sun because you cannot contain the spirit of the Creator. That's what the Bible says. The Bible is the best tool to give you understanding about the all-powerful, not the tree god, not that. Not freaking Okalongo, none of that. Okay? Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh, those things have a universal, yes, it is a shot. They have a universal understanding.
Other people's culture,
they have a universal understanding, everybody.
That's nonsense,
and it means self-existing one. Self-existing means eternal. So we can say that, yes, everybody, we do have traits and we do come from the same people, and we do practice the same spirituality, but there's a perversion and there's a way to do things, and the Bible is giving you that. And that's what we're trying to present, and we're trying to get these brothers to see that you're saying one thing, we're saying another, and even though there may be some same principles there, you have to understand why we're saying it. Don't tell me I'm Christianized. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just regurgitating, which we all regurgitating information. Because Ngozi got that from somebody that got that from somebody that got that from somebody. So y'all be careful with
truth, man. They act in labs,
That's
man.
it. That's my statement.
All right, guys. We got some more callers standing by. I'm gonna let you respond to that. We got to get some more callers though. Keep that thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Let's go to 803-553. You're live in the air.
Peace off the roof on the line.
How you doing?
I got a two-part question, and it doesn't. This particular question is not reality. It's not science. It's not about. It is about knowing, though. So Sanjeti I feel as though Sanjeti had an interesting point when we kind of quickly transitioned away from. He spoke about the spirit, whether it's a Holy Spirit or a divining spirit, and he asked about the difference. I guess one question would be. What you at one point someone said that the difference between Yeshua, I guess you were talking about John, I think it was chapter 14. If I go not away, I think it's 14. I'm not sure. It's one of those 14, 13, 14, 15, 16. And the Paracletus, the Paraclete, the adversary comes back. So if it indwells in you. Somebody had said that it was more of a higher level of spirituality. So my question would be to that is, to me, that's if another culture says it is the ancestors' relationship between the person, then you're disrespecting your ancestors. So if you don't like your ancestors, then I guess I can understand it. And then the second part of that question is, how in the world do you know whether it's on the divination spiritual side of what is happening during those particular type of supernormal, we're not talking about supernatural, but supernormal experiences, or whether it's in a Christian or a Judean culture of that same expression where you feel. I know you guys don't walk by sight, you walk by faith, I guess. But when that supernormal experience happens to you and you say, oh, that was God. So tell me how you know, and tell me, are you disrespecting another person's culture because they believe it a different way? And I'm going to fall back on that.
All right. That's a fair question.
You want me to ask?
Hold on. No.
Go ahead, King.
All right.
Yeah, who do you want to
okay, come on, because I don't want to talk over each other. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, I do think that's a fair question. How do you know? Okay. Different cultures have their own definition. Okay. Now, with the human brain, what's called euphoria, because of a person's culture, they will associate this feeling of euphoria with, let's say, different psychological associations. Okay. So according to their own culture, let's just say if I do a ritual for like a Shango in Ifa tradition, all right, and I have the colors around, etc., and then I'm going to this euphoric state, then I'll associate that with Shango because that's according to my cultural orientation. Whereas though, let's say someone in the Hebrew faith may do a ritual, okay, and they may associate the feelings that they get or experience with, let's just say, they may say it's the Most High, and that's fine. But me doing it according to my cultural tradition has nothing to do with, say, the Hebrew cultural tradition, because that's not disrespecting him. It would be disrespectful if I went into their place of worship, right, and threw curses at their tradition, okay, that would be disrespectful. Now, as far as my ancestors go, all right, no, that's not disrespecting the ancestors, because for us, the Creator is the ultimate ancestor, because the Creator is the ultimate source. And all things come from the Creator, therefore, the Creator is the ultimate ancestor, the final and first source. So that's not disrespecting anyone else if I'm not coming out and imposing it on you. If I'm not imposing on you, then I can't disrespect you. But my ancestors have taught, would teach us to do these things. So it's not disrespecting ancestors, no.
Let me ask this real fast. And I find it very, very interesting how from the Hebraic, Islamic, and Christian perspective, that God is really outside of what you would call the human or anything. Wow. Now, they made a slur. They say, hey, y'all worship the trees. They'll say, hey, y'all worship the water. And I'm trying to figure out if God is the common ancestor, right? And God is omnipotent, omnipresent, omnipotent, meaning nothing made God, right? So if nothing made God, then nothing comes before God, and nothing is more powerful than God. So the question would be, before everything came into being, only thing that could be would be God. So the question is, what did God use to make a tree? What did God use to make a molecule? What did God use to make water? God could use nothing but itself. So in reality, from the African perspective, right, everything is everything. So when you see them give due reverence and respect or prayer to a tree, they're giving due reverence and respect to creation itself. They're giving respect to the very thing they created, because everything is everything. How in the world do we get in our mind that the tree would be separate from God? How are y'all separating that like that? I don't get it.
Can I answer it?
Once again, hold on. My last point is this. If there's nothing before God, then the only thing God can use is pieces of herself to make everything. So everything would be God from an African perspective. The three monotheistic religions, they separate God. They say it's God created this, it's the creation, and then there's God. That's called immaturity. I'm not even going to say foolery. I'm going to give you a break. It's called immaturity and a lack of scientific understanding, because the scientific understanding clearly says that everything is related and everything is everything. So there you have it. You have the scientific perspective that everything is everything, and you have the religious perspective that said there's a God there that made everything.
Okay. Yeah, well, Colossians 1:17 basically said exactly what you just said, so it ain't nothing different, and it's just not an Afrocentric perspective.
Why you crack the joke?
Got Bible.
No.
We also got
Why
Bible.
No,
I'm answering you. I'm answering you, brother. Nah, you was
the one that cracked the joke, remember?
Y'all not. Yeah, I'm not cracking the joke. I'm being serious.
Yeah,
Y'all not comprehending, nor are you studying the Bible in full depth like you're studying with your own research. That's the problem. And then you go and regurgitate BS that you heard from people that bash the Bible, but you're supposed to be intellectual scientists or the natural men or whatever. So why you can't look at the Bible in that framework? So we have to come and we have to do this for the people. Like I said, the Bible teaches that the Most High is all in all and holds up everything and is everything. And I made the statement when we were inside the discussion that I don't worship the tree because the trees are only a part of the body. The tree does not have any power over what created it or what's behind it. You're asking the question.
So you just separated.
Hold on, there's no separation. There's no separation. I said I worship the existence as a whole, not no damn tree, not no water. I'm worshiping the one that created the tree and created the water. No, you're saying I just separated.
Hold on.
What? Hold on. Wait. I'm not even finished. Calm down, because see, this is what you do. Or this was. I'm going to say y'all in the general perspective of the people that think like you. See, we're telling you what the fact is, but you don't want to believe it. So you're going to say, well, what you really saying is no. What I'm really telling you is, brother, that we worship the all in all, bro. We don't worship no damn trees. We don't got no sanctuaries for the sun or none of that. Okay. That's what you do.
So you just separate. That's the point. Just
no, it's not separation.
Just admit that something made the sun.
You don't understand what separation means.
Let me say something.
You understand what separation means, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not dealing with, listen.
Stand by, King Shia. King Shia, stand by, King Shia.
Y'all say, Romans chapter 1, right?
Stand by, King Shia.
Let me say something to that real quick. Look,
I'm saying, am I wrong though?
No, wait a minute, Unc. In African cosmology, there's a tradition, and I believe it's the Yoruba, where a tree was believed to inhabit these spirits. You're right, but these spirits were actually believed to be sometimes Simbis when
like
in the Congo called twice-born. Wait a minute, and called twice-born spirits, and it was said that people were scared to build around these sacred trees because these trees would make so much noise at night that they couldn't sleep. Now, let me give you something. Wait a minute. Now, let me give you something real quick and fathom on this when we're dealing with these forces of nature. Now, check this out. In the Khan tradition, the Abosums, or the children of the messenger of Name. Name is the ancient, the god who went back into the sky and left us to do what we do, quote unquote. And similar function to the Yoruba Orisha or the Voodoo Loas. The Abosums are spiritual forces evincing and operating throughout the Akan universe, assisting Name in the task of managing creation, namely humanity. They are found throughout Ghana and are a major part of Akan cosmology. Abosums may be male or female. They have the ability to embody both. Although the Abosums also embody various manifestations of nature, i.e. wind, bodies of water, trees, mountains, hills, and animals, these objects are used only as temporary dwelling places and should not be confused with the Abosum themselves. So these waters, which y'all call a force of nature, is not to be confused with the Orisha themselves or the Natural themselves. Okay. The Natural or the Abosum are essentially spirits. So when we deal with these trees, these forces of nature, these spirits dwell in these for a certain amount of time and not to be confused with it. And you can get that out the book Ancient African Religions, which I gave you earlier.
So hold on. So let's do it. Hold on.
No, man, let him go next. Come on, dude. Let him go next.
We'll start right though. Okay. Now, because there's a lot of stuff y'all be bringing out, bro, like that doo-wop and all of that stuff that y'all be talking about.
All right, man, you just cut him off.
King Yeshaya, hold on, King Yeshaya. King Yeshaya. We got some more callers. We got more callers, guys. I got to get to the callers. Once again, number 646-716-7320. We have a lot of people standing by. So let's go to the people out there. Let's go to 215-883. You're live there.
Yes, Brother Sal, the shelf minutes, and how's everybody going this evening? Can you hear me? Good, great. Okay. I found that this was a lively discussion. I don't have anything negative to say about it. It was good discussion. I do have just a quick question, or two questions if I can get in real fast to the Hebrew brothers. Is it my understanding that they accept the New Testament?
You said what?
Do the Hebrew brothers, do you accept the New Testament?
Wait, you have yes,
brothers. Some of us doing
not everyone. Yeah, not everyone.
I just asked a simple question, yes or no. Do you accept the New Testament?
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's saying that we do, but what you're talking to is a mixed population of those who do and who do not.
Okay. I just want to know yes or no. Now, my next question is, can you tell me how the New Testament came about?
Okay, yeah, of course, bro. So look, when you're dealing with it, when you're dealing with the New Testament, first of all, you had what you call sages, or you had scribes back then that was writing things down for the people that was actually going through these events. All right, you can go back. Okay, you can trace this back. You can trace these writings, or what they call the Greek writings or the Cone Greek writings. You can trace these writings to a Hebraic or Aramaic writing, which they call the Peshitta. Okay, you can trace those things back to this particular book, and you can also trace them back to other variances of different texts that was throughout the region. All right, and the way it came about was with these scribes. With these scribes that were in Syrian, because you had a Syriac Bible and you had the Ethiopic Bible. Okay, because these people were operating in both of them places. Okay, they made the manuscript, they rewrote the manuscript in what you call monasteries. Okay, the only indigenous people wrote these scripts in their monasteries. Okay, what happened was the Roman government, okay, could not push forth what they wanted when they wanted to get their taxes and their gods. That actually was the cause for the power that they had. If people wasn't subjected to their gods, they would rebel against them. And they seen that this religion, which is called the belief of the Nazarites, not Christians, but the Nazarites, when they seen it start to actually outgrow what they were doing, they had to actually go in and they had to subvert. Okay, they had to go in and they had to take over these monasteries, kill these people, take over those writers, and claim that they were actually the sages or the beholders of this understanding or this religion, because they seemed that it was popular in the eyes of the people. It was something different because it was coming against the ideology of polytheism and all sorts of things like that. Then that's when you had the Roman brothers. As far as I really don't know the names or whatever like that, but you can catch YouTube clips on it. You can go on, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. Google is amazing. And for people that got PhDs that try to downplay it, they know that's what they going at too, to go buy their books off of Amazon. But that's another thing. These Roman brothers actually started to inject. They started to inject things and words into these scripts because it was written in Greek. Okay, right. But the Greek could not convey the Hebraic understanding, so they started to do it. There's a lot of mistranslation going on. Then that's when you got the Visigoths. Okay, where they started actually having a printing press. They actually started killing people that was bringing in scriptures to other places, and I believe England was the place where it was actually allowed because King James knew it was going to be, you know what I mean, pleasing to the people, whatever. But still in all, Martin Luther, William Tyndale, and some of the other apprentices that he had are the reason for what we for the 1611. And I think Jerome is the reason for the Latin Vulgate, which comes off of the oldest Greek manuscript. Okay, so that's how that came about. And what I'm saying, you can go and look it up.
Do you have, no. Do you have facsimiles, brother?
You
on
said
any
what?
of that what you just said? Do you have facsimiles on any of that you just said?
Do I have facsimiles? Hold up, bro.
On the Old Testament. Do you have
facsimiles
on the Old Testament?
I'm about to answer you because that doesn't mean nothing if I don't got facsimiles on it.
I just asked you a question. Do you have a facsimile in the Old Testament? Yes or no?
You have. Okay, no, I don't. And what?
Okay. Next.
Yeah, we do.
No facsimile. Listen to the audience. A facsimile is a direct copy from the original.
Okay. Man, we know what a facsimile is.
Okay, so if you don't have a direct copy from the original,
I don't possess different manuscripts.
Hold up. We got more callers.
Why are you being disingenuous? Why are you lying to the callers?
Stand by. We got to go to the people, guys. We got more callers. And I'm gonna let you guys get some final statements at the end. So whatever you didn't get to say, you're gonna have some final statements of your own to let people know what you got to say. Yeah, write these things down. All right, so let's go to the next person. I'm going to take maybe 3 or 4 more callers, and after that, we got to go to the final statements. Let's go to 910-463. You on the air?
Yeah. You guys can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yes,
all right. Right. Good. I had a question for both both parties, actually. If let's say like a scenario, let's say if we became like so-called African American, let's say if we had our own piece of land, how would we establish and basically what plan would you guys use to keep us upright and from doing what the white folks are doing to us now?
Okay. So with the Rod Squad, let's go to
that's a very good question. Okay, excellent question. Hold on. Okay, now because you asked about the Rod Squad, what I would do is you look to the cultures that have actually done it. Okay, you look to the cultures and civilizations that have clear evidence. Okay, that have been able to sustain themselves in whatever. Either food production, whether they had to rise from oppression, etc. So in Kemet, we actually have physical evidence, and physical records of how people sustain themselves. Not only that, since you mentioned the white man, we have an example in Kemet of them being invaded by, I'm just going to use the word Semitic. Okay, I know you don't like it, but I don't have time to explain it. So Semitic speakers known as Phoenicians, and other Semitic speakers who invaded called Hyksos, and suppressed the Egyptians. You have that on physical record, and the process in which the Egyptians were able to rise from that, and how they were able to maintain themselves. And how they were able to maintain themselves, this is what's called the 18th dynasty. So we have records on how it's done. You can go to the Songhai Empire, you can go to the Ghana Empire, you can go to the Mali Empire, you go to the Shanti Kingdom. All these African places have actual examples of how that is done. Okay.
All right. I'll let this spawn on the Hebrew side, and of course, any of my brothers. First off, I want to show respect. Anybody else on the Kemet side want to add on to what your brother said?
Yep, I sure do.
Okay.
First of all, we will continue in the long line of our ancestors. We gave the world science and technology. And so any land that we deal with, we will deal with it with technology. The oldest technology is Stone Age technology. Okay? We'll do up-to-date modern technology and science the land. Plain and simple, ain't no way around it. We won't waste time going humana, praying to nothingness. We won't do it. We'll focus on morality and science and technology. That'll definitely get us through.
All right. Well,
All right.
for the Hebrew
War
side,
Council?
I like to actually.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, for the Hebrew side, I like to actually. To anybody listening out there, especially brother that just called in, if you can, sometimes just Google a true Messianic Hebrew community, and this is by Better Sheet Community, which is actually hosted by Rav Dawid Yisrael, and he has a congregation out there. These guys own acres of land in South Carolina. They set up their own farming. They have their own resources. They dug their own wells. Sorry about that for us with water. Forget my Jersey accent. They actually have a lot of infrastructure already embedded within their community. They have their own rules, and they police themselves. So if you actually want to look at a real-world example, instead of like anybody talking or just saying, oh, this is the type of community we'll have, you could see that firsthand. If you guys go on Google a true Messianic Hebrew Israelite community, and basically what this dude does is he will take you through a tour throughout the entire community. I'm talking about schools, tabernacles. They have their own garages and equipment, which they fix themselves, cat machines, all of that. They teach you how to engineering as far as working on engines. These guys, like I said, have their own infrastructure, so they have their own way they deal with their finances. They have their own way that they deal with as far as with the networking course. They have infrastructure like computers and whatnot. So these guys are really rolling, and they have doctors on site, everything. So if you want to see a beautiful example of how this will look on a larger scale, check those guys out.
You also got one in Arizona,
South Carolina, there, brother.
You also got one in Arizona.
Is that beside the African village in South Carolina, brother?
Oh, yo,
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, is that beside the African village that does the exact same thing in South Carolina? Just wondering.
No, this is actually no. This is an actual. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's like farmland.
No, I mean, but you know the South Carolina village is the same thing, though. You know that, right? You get that.
Well, okay, that's fine. But that's fine. That's beautiful. But maybe you should have brought that example up. But another thing.
I know. I just did.
Hold on, bro.
I just did.
Hold on. I just want to ask. Do you know what city that's in?
Yes. Okay. Let me give it to you. No, I'm gonna give it to you. Okay. All you told you African village is in Sheldon, Beaufort County, in South Carolina. It was founded in 1970. Okay, by Oba Adekunmi, 1970. It's 27 acres. Okay. So we can find it.
That's very good. This is not a competition. So what I'm saying.
No.
You just do the shot.
You want to shot.
No,
that's fine.
It's not competition. No, it's
right.
not.
But what I'm saying is, if that was important, I think that maybe you guys should have mentioned that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. And I said I just did, man.
I answered it based on the way he asked it. Okay?
Right, he didn't even ask
I gave some ancient examples. Okay, so it's not a matter of you should have said that. Okay, like there's some examples. Your Tunji is no different from.
You don't know dealing with Ankh, man. Let's just be serious.
Yeah,
we ain't about to play them games.
Come on, man. That wasn't the caller's question.
We got like 6 minutes. We got like 6 minutes left, y'all. We got 6 minutes left, guys. We got 6 minutes left. 6 minutes. We got to go to the next caller, guys. We got to go to the next caller. Once again, number is 646-716-7320. We only have like 6 minutes on the air. What that means, if you're listening on social media, if you're listening on Blog Talk, when the time is up, the only way you can hear the rest of the show live is by calling that number. Again, that's 646-716-7320. We're going to take maybe 3 more callers, and after that, we're going to have some final statements. So you don't want to miss the rest of the show. Again, if you're listening on social media, you got to call in to hear the rest of the show live. But let's go to the next person. We got some more callers standing by. I know I can't get to everybody, but I'm going to, do the best I can. Let's go to 314-680. You're live in air.
Peace. What's going on? This G Con. What's going on with everybody on the panel? What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, Gozy? What's going on, Jehovah and Brother Jesus? the historian. Peace. Yeah, I've been sitting here listening to y'all, you know what I'm saying, and for the most part, Uncle and them do the little slick thing, man. They throw out the little laughing in the background, the little different things and interrupting and all that. But y'all been dealing with Uncle and them for a while, so y'all we used to that. But for the most part, I want to say this, I heard Ngozi, I've heard Unc, I've heard these brothers scream out some dates that I don't know how they got them, and I need to know, please, how you got 190,000 years, and if so, in about 2,000 or 3,000 years, we have modernized with technology up out of this world, and there's no evidence that when you guys given 190,000 years, either these people was primitive as hell and made no advancements. But I need to know, how did y'all get 190,000 years? What dating method did Ngozi, when he talked about the oldest bones that was in Ethiopia or whatever they was, please tell me, how did they date those things, and what was the rate of decay? Did it remain consistent? I need to understand that right now.
A radiometric date. That good old kinetic ruling. About that.
Hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to respond back after Ngozi answers the question.
Yeah, I definitely would love for you to respond after that. That ruler can just snap. We ain't gonna play no games with the dates neither.
Hey,
man, ain't nobody gonna sit on this show and argue with y'all over some damn.
Hold on. Let's not. Hold on. We ain't gotta do that. Let's not divert. Let them answer.
Okay.
Let them answer. Let's not divert.
You got to open Ngozi line.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. I'm gonna look for his line. Go ahead.
Just in brief, okay, because again we don't have that much time. But again, what scientists will do, what archaeologists will do, is they'll take what is called carbon-14 atoms that's found in biological specimens or bones, okay? And what they do is they take the rate of decay that they find, and based on the rate, this is how they determine years, okay, in short.
Okay, so let me ask you a question real quick, Jetty. Hold on, let me ask you this question, Jetty. So you said they date fossils? They date fossils by carbon dating? Is that what you just said?
Okay.
Or do they date organic, something that's organic by carbon-14 dating?
Well, carbon is organic, so basically it's one and the same. Okay. So because all what's classified as organic has carbon in it, and without carbon, it's not considered organic. All right. So again, based on the rate of decay, we try to determine that.
So let me ask you a question. How do we know if the rate of decay remained the same? Was it consistent? How do we know that?
Okay, the rate of decay is going to depend on the environment. So if, let's say if you have an organic substance in a moist environment.
Hey, Sal, you got to open Ngozi line, bro. You got to open Ngozi line, man.
Yeah, do me a favor.
Okay.
Inbox me his number real quick. Send me inbox
yeah,
the number.
708. It's the 708 number.
Yeah, get him some help. Get him some help. Go ahead.
I don't need no damn help. See how y'all is, man. All right.
Hold on.
It's all right.
Don't want my man Ngozi running off like that. You know what I'm saying? He got to deal with some of these things.
Hold on. Let him go. Let him stutter it up. Let Jetty go. Let him go.
Bring them, get them heads on your knees, brother.
I don't do the shots. Like, you know, I like to be simple.
I do the shots. I do them. But go ahead though, brother.
Okay. All right. Just don't bring it to me. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Cool. All right. So again, when we get with
carbon-14, a bunch of imbeciles, man.
All right. All right. Got you. Thanks.
Ain't I thought your boy running, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't stand on your own legs.
Hey, Sal, you got the number, Sal?
Where it goes there? Okay, let it go.
Hold on. Yeah, I want to switch more.
They not letting me talk.
Still trying to find.
Okay,
listen. Can handle that. Go ahead, Sinjetti.
Okay, hold on. Listen. Let me just say something to everybody. Look, again, I'm not trying to be bossy, like that. But again, if I'm talking, like, I don't do the jumping in and interrupting all that ignorance. Like, so please, okay, if I'm talking, please don't do it. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. I respect you. You respect me. Now,
no problem.
All right, cool. So, again, with the different rates of decay, it depends on the environment. So, if it's in a hot, dry environment, it's going to decay at a lesser rate. So not all organisms decay at the same rate. It's going to depend on the environment. So if it's moist, it's going to decay at a faster rate.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Quick question. How do you know? Hold on.
Brother, hold on. Let me just say this, because Ngosi's right here. I'm finally here.
All right, go ahead,
Look, it's different ways to deal with carbon dating. You can deal with carbon dating from potassium argon. You can also deal with it, and even you know this, Brother LeBron. I don't know why you play this damn game.
Okay.
And you got a habit of doing this, and you're more intelligent than that. You know that regular carbon dating, when you understand how regular carbon dating, if you understand how carbon-14 escapes and become carbon-12 based off erosion, it can go back as early as 50,000 years. And what they do sometimes is duplicate that or double that to make it go back 100,000. You can also measure carbon dating by potassium argon or the environment. Also, to also back my premises about Ethiopia, since y'all want to be, play these games, the phylogenetic tree or something called the centimorgan, which is part of the molecular clock that I keep bringing up. It's too many gene variations of haplogroups and something to go on between 12 to 6,000 years. You have markers that predate 12,000 years, not to mention the subclad branch mutations. So what I'm saying is you can deal with carbon, you can deal with dating anything, period, from potassium argon, the carbon-14 in this case, it becomes carbon-12, and dealing with the phylogenetic tree with something called a centimorgan. And if you understand how haplogroups work, it's impossible for humanity or the Earth to be 12,000 years with all these subclad branches of haplotypes of unique haplogroups or locales or locuses or SNPs with your single nucleotide polymorphisms. I can beat you up on DNA and destroy the whole 12,000 year theory. Period. We ain't got to deal with carbon dating because we know carbon dating go back 50,000 years, and that destroys the damn theory. And if you want to deal with potassium argon, that can go back even further. Y'all play games, man, and it's sad that y'all do that shit.
Nah, it ain't no
and Gozy.
And that's all I gotta say, yo.
Language,
that don't make you a boss because you know that DNA.
No, I'm not saying that makes me a boss. No, it doesn't make me a boss. Listen, brother. Listen. I'm a believer. Listen, let me just say this. Me being a Muslim.
If you look, buddy, you put the Muslim stuff down and just, do what you do, because that's not what the Muslims gonna be dealing with. So that because you know that DNA stuff don't mean.
All right, y'all. I got to get this order in. Y'all. What I'm going to do from this point on is I'm going to get some callers to make some comments, and after that, I'm going to have you guys say your last statements because, it's getting kind of crazy right now. So, once again, I appreciate you guys for being here. Again, I'm going to give everybody some individual time to get some final statements, to get some stuff out that they didn't get a chance to, put out there for the people out there to study. And, again, I appreciate both groups for coming on the show. But I'm going to take some quick comments right now. And after that, we're going to go ahead and some final statements from my special guests. So let's go to 718-216, quick comments.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. All right, clear.
Yeah, okay. Peace and shalom. See, I've been listening to the show, and it's going from this area to that area to carbon dates, which those dates is not accurate there, reference and so forth, going to the DNA, mixing with man and trying to prove that they have some kind of relation. What are you going to do when these solar flares hit that they're predicting that has an effect on everything that's electronic down here? What are you going to do about the meteorites? Okay, these things have been going on for thousands and thousands of years. Are you going to keep going back and forth with the Egyptology? And even in your Book of the Dead, it speaks about the Most High on page 114 and 115, okay, to deal with the Kemet aspect and so forth. Even when you go to the precepts of Ptah and Kokwimna in the 5th and 4th dynasty, they speak about the immortality, supreme being. So all I have to say, I see this as some kind of new age game that's being played right here to fool people. When you're talking about the Yoruba, you're speaking about the Shanties. Shanties once recognized the Most High until they went into idol worshiping. So it's a lot of confusion going on to deny the Most High, deny the Creator, okay, deny the prophecy, which are very prevalent and relevant if you look at what's going on globally, international, and so forth. And they're putting it into the movies and so forth. And it coincides with the prophecies and the precepts. There's many records, the Didache, which is a record before the New Testament, okay, which are Hebrew writings, which is dealing with the signs of the times and so forth. You go back to the Greek translation and so forth. So I see what I'm analyzing right now with this whole game, this whole attack against the Bible and the prophecy and the Creator
what you call the supernatural, which is something that was common among the Egyptians, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, okay, Harriet Tubman, the Mayans. They all spoke about an immortality, the supreme being. But why you got this in the 21st century? Because you can't touch it, taste it, and feel it, it don't exist. It's like you can't see oxygen. You can't see helium gas. You can't see electricity. Just because you can't touch it, taste it, and feel it, don't mean it doesn't exist. And just because you don't believe in something don't mean it doesn't exist. So what I'm concluding with, when I'm listening to this discussion, it fits in cohesive with this so-called New Age garbage that they're pushing. It goes back to the 1800s, Helena Blavatsky, her disciple Alex Bailey. And when you read their writings, you see the same tactics that some of you brothers are using, okay, Gerald Macy too. Hitler was trying to bring it back to confuse people, okay? Zeiss guy, Peter Joseph, okay, coming.
Yeah, I apologize, brother. Quick comments. We got kind of run out of time, but I appreciate you bringing out the information. We got some more callers out here. So quick comments. It's going to take a few more people, and after that, we're going to have some final statements from the special guests. We have the Amin Ra Squad here tonight. For those that just probably joined in versus the War Council. Again, the show is archived. You can always go back and go check it out. Go to www.blogtalkradio.com/debate talk for you. Quick comments, guys. We're going to get some quick comments. Again, let's go to 425-737. Keep it clean, keep it professional. Quick comments.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is Brother James. Shabbat Shalom to my Hebrew brothers. And hotep to the Kemet side. But I just wanted to make 3 quick comments. For Brother Sinjeti, I just wanted to say that the Ark of the Covenant was a bad usage when you went on to talk about the invocation or divination or something like that. It would have been better off to use the ephod, and I do agree that the Hebrews did invoke because by definition using the ephod to communicate with the Most High would be invocation. And also the Most High is an ancestor according to the Hebrew writings because he is the father of Adam. He is the most ancient ancestor. And the last thing I would like to say is that if you take away the spiritual side of things, you abandon the Afrocentric mindset altogether to adopt the European mindset. And that is what it looked like is going on from some of these brothers' perspectives on the Amin Ra side. And that's all I had to say.
I appreciate that call. Let's go to 646-592. Quick comments.
Hey, peace, man. Brother Garfield here. How you doing, Sal? Peace to both sides. Sal, I have a suggestion, man. The next time you do this, let everybody submit their questions in advance. Because then you won't have no back and forth the way it is, And then people saying it's your fault, saying it's Sal's fault, and all this craziness, and they're on the other side right there in front of you. But anyway, let me say this. The brother asked earlier, what's the how did the New Testament come about? And King Yeshaya went into a whole thing about Ethiopian Bible. I would like for him to produce one single manuscript of this Ethiopian Bible and show us where we can find it. Secondly, King Izana brought Christianity as it is, in a sense, to Ethiopia when he invaded Ethiopia and took it over. So I want to know, how did the whole Christianity thing in Ethiopia, how is the Ethiopian Bible similar to what we believe in today, and why is Ethiopia even in the mix? All right? But otherwise, I wish it was better information from both sides. I mean, it was a little stuff here and there, but it's pretty much, it was kind of disorganized. It was really just kind of disorganized. All right? Peace to y'all. Peace.
I appreciate the call, man. Let's go to the next person. Let's go to 678-349. Live in air. Quick comments. 678-349. You're live in air. Going once, going twice. All right, we're going to have to move on. We've got to move on to the next person. Let's see. Let's go to, we're going to take a few more. Let's go to 267-701. You're live in air.
Shalom, Bahashim Yahuwah, Hakodesh Yasha'Allah. It's Tribal Minister Charlene Dean Ben Ami Matazoya, Ben Yasha'Allah, the mighty Hebrew. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, shalom, brother.
Shalom. What I heard tonight is what the last caller said. There was a lot of confusion going on, a lot of disrespect. And I think that we all forgetting what we really doing. And what we're doing is, what we're really supposed to be doing is trying to get the minds of our people back into a state of consciousness, back into the creative heaven and earth, so we can come out of this mental side, this mental death that we're in. And I mean, after the end of the day, after this spiritual masturbation, you know, we still going back to our deplorable lives. You know, when you look out the window, you see death and destruction all over, you know, in our communities. And these are the things that we really need to be tackling. And what I'm saying tonight about this whole thing of evolution, because this is what we're talking about here, you know, the simplest way to defeat any evolution is to attack the hypotheses of the whole evolutionary theory. When you're dealing with evolution, you're dealing with what is to make better. And when you look at how they talk about, you know, the reproduction of man from a primate into a man, the Euro-Gentile or the Edomite, whatever you want to call him, was the last to come on that evolutionary chain, so as to make better. When you look at evolution, Eurogenesis, you know, all these different things, these are the mentalities of those that brought us into this captivity to feed their objectives. So when we regurgitate and speak about evolution and we talk about carbon-dating 14, we don't really be understanding that we're dealing with the methods of those that put us in captivity, you know. And we know, interestingly, that evolution failed to provide proof of the existence of billions of scrap prototypes that their theories rely upon, and only through a very creative, you know, artistic aid can they even attempt to portray man's progression from Homo habilis to Homo erectus to Homo sapiens, archaic to Homo sapiens, Neanderthalians to Homo sapiens sapiens. To me, from what I'm hearing, these artistic renderings are more the result of the wild imagination of those that brought us in captivity. When we study the origin of evolution from the perspective of what we're talking about in 2015, it is from the perspective of the Euro-Gentiles that brought us here. That's what we have to remember, brothers and sisters. It is the perspective of those that brought us here. And that's how you sever this whole conversation about evolution. We don't have to talk about the Big Bang Theory. We don't have to talk about the Australopithecus, the Homo erectus, the Homo sapien, whatever. We want to talk about the origin and the founding fathers of this evolutionary concept. So to everybody that's listening to this, go do your research and look at and find out who is the founding fathers of this sick, satanic, perverted belief system called evolution. It is to try to sever the Creator away from us. We are the chosen people. We are the Israelites that was outlined in that scripture to come over and do this captivity. So they are going to do anything possible for us not to reconnect back to the Creator of heaven and earth. So I just advise all the people that's listening to take a second look at what they regurgitate. And this is not an attack on any individual. This is an attack on the Europeans that created this madness that we have adopted and we're calling science today. Hallelujah.
I appreciate that call. We're just going to take two more. There's two more. Make it quick, y'all. Two more. And after that, we're going to go to the special guest and get some final statements. Let's go to 347-972. You're live in there.
Peace, Brother Sal. This is Brother Raheem Ali, New York.
Hey, what's up?
Shalom Alaikum to the Israelite brothers and Hotep to the Amin-Ra squad. I just want to say two things real quick. One brother talked about the creation stories that come up out of Egypt, which I'm very aware of, and they're too contradictory and too erotic for me to even teach my child that. And for people like basically Polite, Shaka Atmos, which I'm looking for a debate and he's running, Brother Unk, I see this on YouTube all the time, and they're, you know, confusing the people, and it's too much back and forth. For example, from the Book of the Dead, you have Jeb, the Lord Jeb, and Osiris. Osiris is in phallic form, which means erection, and Jeb is sucking his own phallus, which is called autofellatio. I cannot teach my child that. And for them to constantly tell us to get rid of our books, meaning the Muslim and the Christian and the Israelite who falls up under the Abrahamic faith, they want us to become into that. And I'm going to leave that alone because, I mean, I can go into it deeper. But one other thing someone said was, I think it was I'm not sure, that African people didn't worship. Okay, well, let's bring it back to Egypt since these guys are worshiping, followers of Kemet. I have pictures from off the walls of the tombs where men are bowing down on their faces, just like the Muslim and just like the Israelite. I have everyone in the Bible who is bowing down on his face. I have pictures of Jehu bowing down on his face. I have different people of different parts of the world bowing down on their face. They had to get it from somewhere. We dealt with outside and inside of us. You get what I'm saying? So to say we never bowed down, then you're basically saying you're not part of Egyptian culture because they bowed down, okay, right on their face just like Muslims do. So I told people before, sooner or later, they were going to move away from the Egyptian stuff because brothers have been putting it down and telling and showing that Egypt is not the only way. They were going to move into something else. Now they're moving into evolution. Once that's cracked, they're going to move into something else. So basically, tonight I didn't get anything from the Amin Ra squad. You know what I'm saying? So I already know how the Israelites work because I deal with them. So with that, I say shalom and hotep and let people know, listen, study. Everything didn't come from Egypt. These people putting out everything, our face come up out of Egypt. It is a lie. We come from a common ancestor, and even the Egyptians themselves said they came from somewhere else. And they are not the progenitors of everything. And Bardarian, the Nakata people, and so forth are before them. And with that, I say shalom.
All right, man. Appreciate that comment. One more. We just got to take one more. Like I said, I can't get to every single person, but there's one more. And after that, we're going to get some final statements from our special guest. 513-652. Quick comments.
Shalom. I just want to say that I can appreciate the intellect of all my brothers sharing, but it was kind of hard to follow along because of everyone stumbling over each other to be heard. And I would like to offer a suggestion that you have a timer, and then you go back to the other side to respond, and they have to pick the one person whom they want to speak to represent to answer the questions or the discussion that is on the floor. I was able to gain more information from the callers that you went through at the last phase of this because they weren't being challenged and they weren't being interrupted. So I will be tuning in again, but I want my brothers to get it together, respect one another. We're in this together.
Yeah,
Shalom.
I appreciate the suggestion. I appreciate that, definitely. And that one, we're going to go to get some final statements, guys. We're going to get some final statements from our special guest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give everybody 6 minutes. 6 minutes, final statements. I'm going to time them, of course. And, of course, once we get to the 2-minute mark, you're going to hear this sound. That means 2 minutes left of your time. And once your time is totally up, you're going to hear this sound. And that means your time is up. So, final statement time, guys. Final statement time. Let's start off with Morey Yeshaya. Morey Yeshaya, you can go ahead.
Shalom. Can I be heard?
Loud and clear.
All right. Now, I have right here the American College Dictionary. And on page 1243, the definition partly in science says as follows. Science, experimental investigation. Now, if that be the case, how then can we look at science when it's defined as experimental investigation, and then when we retrieve something from it, say that is the absolute truth? There is a difference between an answer and the truth. Now, if someone asks me a question, did you go to Brooklyn today? And I say, no, I gave them an answer. You got a response, but you did not get the truth. So therefore, we have to then keep on investigating certain things. So by trying to go about it and having science as the cloak, when the definition of it by default is experimental investigation, therefore you never get a concrete answer because somebody's always going to ask a question and always want to ask a question. I don't talk about my personal business much, but I teach in a school. I teach in a school in New York, and the science department is the most expensive. Why? Because they always updating books. They always finding new things out. So now what was real, let's say 20 years ago in science, is not real 20 years from now. I'm not knocking brothers who study science. All I'm saying is those who do know and understand that there is an understanding of it being experimental investigation. Thus, every time you try to rely solely on what is still being experimented on, you cannot rest your head on that fully. One brother made a comment about the Jeeb and the creation story. I mentioned when I first spoke, I have a daughter. You're right, brother. I cannot teach my daughter about oral masturbation and fellatio. I cannot teach my child that. But I'm Hebrew. I can teach my daughter the book of Job. A man has a lot, he loses, he keeps his faith and his trust in his maker, and then he gets everything and more of it. I can teach that even if you want to say it's an allegory. I can teach my daughter Proverbs, the 31st chapter, where her husband in the future will say to her, many women have done great, but you, my sweetheart, have sat there and excelled the more. I can teach my little daughter that. So now I just want to sit there and emphasize on that. Furthermore, as a brother, as an Israelite, I'm not going to sit there and bite my tongue in cheek in using the scriptures. Ezekiel 44, verse 23. Speaking of the priests in the future of Israel, and they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the common, and cause them, Israel, to discern between the unclean and the clean. So what was clean in one culture is not clean inside of another culture. For instance, many African cultures sat there and dig up the ground when they go to use the bathroom. You understand? Just like the children of Israel were told to do when they go in Deuteronomy, the 23rd chapter. You understand? Now, when you read Herodotus, he sits there in his visit to Egypt, he sits there and says that the men sit to urine and the women stand up. So now my point is not knocking Egypt. My point is each culture is different. And as I asked when I first came on the presentation, if Egypt is not the oldest, and when you study it, they say that they came from the place called Mount Ronvenri, which is in the area of Uganda. Did the culture of Uganda follow the exact pattern as they traveled up the Nile? Or when you read about the situation when Menes or Aha, pardon me if I get it wrong, in Dynasty 1, when he made the country unified and he had the red and white crown, also Mentuhotep, the red and white crown, also Ahmosis, the red and white crown, showing the significance between Tomeri and Tamahu. When he did that, were they still thinking about, were they still thinking about the culture that they had from Uganda? Now, I never got a full answer, and maybe I will in time, but I was listening keenly about the dates and everything of that sort. The hunter-gatherers, are they that were in Western Africa, as I heard correctly, are they to predate the bones that the archaeologists and whoever else found in Ethiopia? Because somebody was saying, if I heard right, oh, well, when the people migrated, they mixed in with the people that was already there. That means if they were already there, you can't say that those bones could have been the oldest on the earth. Case in point. So that's something. Furthermore, the Hyksos, the Egyptian term was Haku-Sret, rulers of foreign lands. When Amos got rid of them, let's just leave it at that. Semitic is, Shem is the Hebrew. There is no Shah, SH in Greek, so when they transliterated, Shem became Sem. Okay, so let's just get the linguistics as far as that's concerned. Brothers and sisters, we need to stop snapping on herdsmen like some people do, not throwing stones because the Fulani people that we all been talking about, they are herdsmen. And even when they came over here in slavery, they were saying they were used to deal with sheep and cattle and goats. So that's just something I want to point out as far as that's concerned. So every culture is different. We need not try to use Kemet versus Israel, Israel versus Kemet, when in actuality, Israel has a story that when they go back in their land, the Edomites is going to be dispossessed. Does Kemet have a story about the Arabs that inhabited that place? What will happen? Because Israelite prophets left a record of what will happen for Israel. Does Kemet leave a prophecy and hope and future of what will happen when they return to Kemet? With that, I say shalom.
All right, shalom, my brother. Appreciate you being on the panel, man. That was Morea Shire representing the War Council. So now let's go to Amon Ra Squad. Let's see. Let's go to my brother. Let's see if he's still here. My brother Ngozi. Where you at, my brother? You still there? There you go. Ngozi, you got 6 minutes, brother? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say this real quick. I can't answer a question or talk to people who say that evolution means better, because it doesn't mean that. So I'm not going to go backwards and forth about that, because I clearly see that a lot of people don't even understand the term of what the evolution or the theory of evolution and natural selection is, or how it works. It doesn't mean it has nothing to do with getting better. Another thing, I'm a Muslim. I deal with the Abrahamic faith. That's what people got to understand. And what I'm saying is that I know how to separate my theology from science. I don't play the game and try to mix and match it, because when you do that, it becomes pseudo. Another thing, I descend from Fulani and Mandinka group predominantly from my genetic variation. I am a Moor. I deal with Islam. So I understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how Allah works. That's what people need to understand. But at the same time, another error that somebody said that was wrong, Djed or Jed is not a Sar, and that's not a Jed sucking his penis. Djed Pilar is a Sar's backbone, which means strength and stability. Also, the whole phallus thing is representation of potency, or what we refer to as fertility. It was a fertility symbol. If you don't see Kemet from a symbolic eye, you'll miss the message. A lot of the stuff in Kemet was symbolic. Yes, you had certain types of precepts, certain time periods that were corrupt and certain things, but this is just a gift. This is just what humanity does. Another thing, the Egyptians didn't just come from Uganda. The people that made up the Nile Valley civilization was a conglomeration of different groups of people from the continent of Africa. People coming back out of the Sahara, people coming from Uganda, people coming from modern-day Ethiopia that we call Ethiopia today, which was once called Habasha, that Queen Isabella misunderstood and called it Abyssinia when a few Semitic people came over there and went over there. Another thing, I have more Shemitic, if you want to say Shemitic, blood or DNA inside of me than most people on here, period. I have proof of ancestry that's coming from the so-called Middle East or whatever you want to call it. I have proof genetically, but I'm predominantly of sub-Saharan African descent. So what I'm saying is you got to be careful with that, and I'm not going to go backwards and forth with people that say evolution means to get better and all that crap. It doesn't mean that at all. That's all I got to say, yo.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming on the panel, man, representing our Ra Squad. And Ngozi, what's going on? Appreciate that. Let's go to let's see if my brother's still here. King Yeshaya. You have 6 minutes, guys.
All right. Yeah, man, I just want to say this to everybody that's listening. This is by no means something that we're doing as far as trying to disrespect one another. We build the brothers that are up here. We all build with each other. So I don't want nobody thinking that we trying to, take heads off and stuff like that. We have much love and respect for these brothers just as much as we believe that they do with us. The thing is, there's a lot of games and tactics when it comes down to this understanding in history and even in the scientific world. And I just want everybody to be, have an open mind when you're going into certain studies, because a lot of things have agenda in it. We got people that go against the Bible. We got people that go against Kemet. And I'm not afraid to choose a side. Okay, my side is with this Bible because the Bible, fact, has science. It has economics. It has those things in it. And it takes people that really want to know what it's about to go in and dig. Okay? The Bible does not restrain one from having a closed mind, and they cannot evolve their thoughts or understanding their knowledge. That is something that a lot of brothers push. Okay? The Abrahamic faith is not the faith that causes the world to go into disarray, in which people have said in the past, and I'm only here to address those things with my fellow brothers that we study. We have moral values. We use logic, we use science, we use linguistics, and we use history, and we're coming up with different conclusions, not based upon the fact that we're Bible believers, but because before we even got into this book, we've been doing this. It led us to the book, so that's our way. And we're just trying to express that, and we don't need people trying to throw it out there that we're all the same. We don't need people, when we're trying to build intellectually, to try to make comments or try to throw you off of your thought when you're trying to make a point, because you're not letting nobody learn. And I'm talking about from both sides and anybody else that's outside of this circle, all right? And some other key points that I just want to throw out there is that the Bible, because everybody claim that I used to do that, that's why I'm not doing it now. First of all, let's get this straight. Y'all left because the information that we had, y'all wasn't even touching on back then, first and foremost, point blank, period. When it comes to the science in it and what we can show and prove on any time, anywhere basis, the videos, anything you need to see, and the sources. We can quote the source. There's nothing wrong with that. We can do that. So that's what we represent, and we're representing a group of brothers that have dedicated their lives to doing this study, and they go into it, objectively, and they come up with conclusions based upon the data that they have. That's what we're representing. So we don't need any of the, that's not what the Bible is saying. That's not. If you're not dealing with the machine, you don't know how it operates, and you don't know how it's put together. That's up to the people that's working it, and that's up to the mechanic that made it. All right, we have to understand that the Bible gives us a different thought from other different belief systems, no matter how many parallels you see in them. And this is why I'm going to draw the example at. This is why I wanted the brother Asar Imhotep to be up here, because he is a linguist. I respect the brother. I don't believe what he believes. I don't believe what he believes about, evolution or the oldest bones and stuff like that, because there's a lot of information out there that you can go get, all right, from him and other brothers that have different opinions and views. So I'm not telling people don't go look at, just look at Ngozi, or just don't look at Ngozi and just look at everybody else. But my conclusion comes off of the fact that I have to take all of the data and put it in one. I don't just take one scope. Somebody say something about Egypt, I'm looking into it. And I'm going straight to the source of the people that's saying this is what it means. So, with that being said, I just want to drop some of these jewels for y'all, listeners out there. The Bible goes against every cosmology, okay, and every cosmology and every eschatological understanding and symbology that other religions have. All right. First and foremost, when you're talking about Egypt, when you're talking about Sumer, it is very popular. What is being popularized right now is these places come from the Niger Congo. They spoke the Niger Congo language, and actually the Samaritans were the ones that were in the Niger Congo language as indigenous Africans that branched out, and Egypt was colonized last. This is what's being said by certain people like Professor Catherine and a few of her colleagues, and other people like Waddell, okay? And these are from different perspectives, not just European, but Afrocentric, and if you want to call it and European, okay, regardless of what. All right, the Bible has a lot of the cosmology and a lot of the eschatology inside of different religions because it claims them, written in their face. That duat, that hole in the ground that's over there in Leger, in Igbo land, that's where the Egyptian gods lived at. And you can trace this stuff linguistically back. And if anybody up here that has a disagreement with that, they would have to take it up with the people that I'm looking at and the people that they looking at. So we have to go systematically through all this information, yo. That's all I'm saying. So don't come out with the, you just Christianized, you don't understand, you need to get back to your African roots. I'm with my African roots because even though I don't worship those guys, I know listen what I'm saying, I know my African ancestors were worshiping these that gave them information and knowledge. I know that for a fact because every religion talks about them coming down, giving this knowledge. The show guys talk about the mermaid, all of that stuff. And it may be spooky to us today because we use more of our mind today and we're surrounded by a lot of technology. But back then, it wasn't like how it is today. The air wasn't even the same. Animals didn't even grow the same. Vibration and light wasn't even the same. So when people want to go into science, let's go into science and use that for, necessary tools to understand the different religions, okay? That way you can find the commonality.
All right, that was King Yeshaya right there with his final statements representing the War Council. Of course, I appreciate you coming on the panel, brother, on Debate Talk for You. Let's go to Sinjetti. 6 minutes. Go ahead, brother.
All right, peace, brother, peace. Okay, there's a lot of points that were made. I'm just going to run it down the line. First, I'm going to say that I respect that the brothers have their beliefs in the biblical text. Okay, I'm here to demonstrate that the biblical text is not the only paradigm that can be used for enlightenment. Okay. Second, based on discussion. Okay, only based on discussion, and I don't know how far these brothers have gotten into actual Kemetic documents. Okay, every point that they bring up, insofar as what's in the Bible, prophecy, all those things, we have it in Kemetic text. However, I don't think that these brothers have been exposed to brothers and sisters who actually deal with the text. Okay, or someone who can actually quote things off the top of the head, dealing with the text and give you quotes in specific books, etc. Because a lot of people out there who, they have Kemetic names on Facebook and all kinds of stuff, a lot of them don't actually study the Kemetic literature. And I think that's who these brothers are exposed to. So this is say if you deal with someone who's actually been initiated in a Kemetic temple, okay, like such as myself, and we had that discussion, we can go point for point, okay? I can name, okay, this is this document. So one brother said, well, we deal with the Creator, but then he's trying to make it seem like, oh, we just worship trees. So this is a reductionist type approach that the brother's taking, where we have things such as the Shabaka stone, all right? And the Shabaka stone was put together in the 8th century BCE from King Shabaka, who was a Nubian king who ruled in Kemet, all right? And he copied that from an older papyrus, okay? And the Shabaka stone is a creation account. It's a variation. There's another document called the Book of Knowing the Evolutions or Creations of Ra, and for overthrowing Apep. That's another document. And I would definitely love to go point for point and run that down and teach on that because, again, based on what the brothers are saying, I'm not sure if they're actually reading these things. Again, I don't know. But I haven't seen any demonstration of that. Okay? They even have in their tradition great battles. Okay? We have great battles. You can go to the Battle of Kadesh between Usa Ma'at to Teperah, Mary Amun, okay, who we should not call Ramesses II because that's disrespectful to him, because we never call our kings by the first name, okay? When he dealt with the Hittites or the Hatti, who were Indo-European Turks, okay? We have those documents. But again, brothers, they're not bringing these things up for us to really have these discussions, okay? Because, again, I don't think they're actually dealing with people who really delve in. Now, let's go to the point about the language. Now, let's take the word Semitic. The reason we're used, like I might use Semitic, is because I'm dealing with the field of linguistics. I understand about Shem. Gotcha, okay? Just know that if I'm using the word Semitic, I'm talking about a group of languages that are related: Hebrew, Arabic, Ugaritic, Canaanite, etc. I'm using it in that sense, okay? So I want to make that clear. If you want to have the discussion later on, we can. All right. What do we call the Arabs? Another brother brought that up, okay? In Kemetic records, there's titles for every group of people. What do we call Arabs? We call them Shasu, all right? Shasu, it means those who roam on foot, okay? Coming from the root word shasa, all right? And the glyph for that are 2 feet in movement, okay? So they're talking about nomads or people who are vagabonds, all right? So, okay, so if you want to talk about that, we can. Now, as far as the guy bringing up masturbation, et cetera, in the temple, all right, those were pictures that were inside the temples. They were not meant for the public eye. So when Europeans go in there, they publicize it. So that's why it looks disgusting to people who are not initiated, okay? So we can bring that point up later. As far as, like scriptures and things like that, you have the instructions of Ptah-hotep, the instructions of Kagemi, et cetera. It's like no one's asking about these particular things, okay? And we can go into those quotes at another time, all right? Let's see, go to the point. All right, science. In the papyrus called the Rhind Mathematical Papyrus, which should be called the Ophmos Mathematical Papyrus, there's a term there called Hesed. It starts off, it's the first term on the papyrus, which means the correct method. And this is a mathematical treatise, which gives step-by-step instructions on how to figure out phenomenon utilizing mathematics, okay, or what you might call algebra, all right? And this document goes back at least 1650 BCE at minimum, okay? So, again, I was going to bring that point in. We have plenty of information, but y'all got to talk to the right people, all right? And again, I'm always open to questions about any of those details.
All right, man. We appreciate you coming on the platform. Once again, the brother representing and Raw Squad. All right, so let's go to Yahweh. Let's go to Yahweh. 757? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm there, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
6 minutes, bro.
did y'all hear me all right? Or too much noise?
Loud and clear. You good.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having me on and everything. It was interesting to hear everything. I apologize for the background noise. Just I'm on the way back home on the bus, man. But, basically, I kind of wish that this format was a little bit better. It seemed like everybody was just trying to go at each other's throat and not necessarily bring out the information that should have been brought out. So, and for that, I'm not even disappointed for myself, but I'm disappointed for the people because they weren't able to hear everything that was supposed to come out. All the context weren't brought out, all the proper arguments weren't brought out. So hopefully in the future when we do a show, we actually format it in such a way whereas we're catering to the people rather than trying to benefit ourselves from a victory, going after the other man. But as far as the scholarship stuff is concerned, somebody brought up about some of the records in Egypt that didn't really illustrate how creation was done. The only thing I will recommend is going to, if you go to the pyramids that's uttered in 527, they actually have a translation in there that describes exactly what Messiah was saying. So I don't know why some of these other cats will come up here and say that wasn't portrayed or that's not what it was saying, but clearly you can look at the text with your own Egyptian dictionary and see exactly what it's talking about. Another thing I want to bring out is I noticed that Moran had called in and questioned the carbon dating, and then noticed that the samples that were tested, Ngozi said was about 190,000 years old. Now, if anybody do their own research and find out what carbon-14 dating and how it's done, you find out quickly that it has a half-life of about 5,000. I apologize, I'm on a bus right now. Okay. Then you find out that it has a half-life of about, I would say 5,700 years. So 5,700 years, you have the half-life of carbon-14. That means you shouldn't find carbon-14 in any organism past 100,000 years. So then you have to, if you look at the actual science and see how they do it, and then go back and look at what Ngozi said, then you like, okay, how can you make a claim and say that something, especially an organism, is 300,000 years old or 190,000 years old or anything past 100 years old when the half-life of carbon-14 won't even allow it? So when you look at the science really hinders what they're saying. And I wish, like I said, we had more time so we could bring this information out because it's kind of like saying if you have a clock that can only count 24 hours, how are you going to tell me from that clock that somebody did something a week ago? It doesn't make sense. So the measure that the tool that they're using to measure is limiting them on everything that they claim. And also when you look at like uranium-238 or thorium-234, potassium, all the different dating methods, like they don't align with anything that he was saying. In fact, they are so inaccurate it's ridiculous. But like I said, I wish we had more time to get into the information and bring everything out. And, Sal, I'm happy that you had me, and I'm not going to use any more of this time because it's kind of noisy on this bus. But I appreciate it, bro, and I hope that next time we get on here, we actually bring it out as we're supposed to.
All right, man. Once again, I appreciate you for coming on as well, representing the War Council. All right, so last but not least, well, actually last, yeah, we got the God Killer himself, Ankh. 6 minutes. Go ahead.
Hey, man, look, Black African Power, man. Let's just do it straight like this off the top. We're going to come to their work to show you why it's a ridiculous work. Go to Exodus 4:24. And it came to pass by way of the inn, that's a hotel, okay, they called it an end back then, that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. So the Most High is running around the end. The Lord of the boundary universe is running around the hotel trying to kill a man. Ridiculous idea and concept. That's why we can't do the Bible. Next one, Numbers 22:28. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, that's a donkey now, mouth, and it said to Balaam, what have you done? What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times? So you got talking donkeys in the Bible. Ridiculous idea and concept, not based in reality. Numbers 31:17. Now kill all the boys and kill every woman who has slept with a man. So they're saying basically, don't kill the virgins, keep the virgins for yourself. This is the Lord saying that. So you're talking to donkeys. The Lord's running around a hotel trying to kill people. You know what I'm saying? And kill all the boys and kill all the women that have not slept with men. It's a ridiculous idea and a concept. That's why we don't follow the Bible. Now, museum collection of over 100,000 Egyptian artifacts. The Grand Egyptian Museum, Giza, has over 100,000 artifacts. To open in 2015, currently housed in the Egyptian Museum. Go find yourself a Hebrew museum. They have basically no artifacts. The British Museum, London, UK, has over 100,000 artifacts. Now watch this. Not to include, right, the 2001 donation of 6 million artifacts in the Sudanese collection of prehistory. So I ain't even going on this. It's another 30 goddamn museums, right? So right now I'm over 1 million African artifacts to prove my story. Go ask some Hebrew Israelites, what do they have? What do they have to prove their story? They got a Bible. And guess what? The people who practice these monotheistic religions are the most arrogant people on the planet. Why am I saying this? Because they presuppose that they have the only God, or they have the only idea and the concept, that their idea and concept surpasses everybody's idea and concept. This is a ridiculous notion of arrogancy, that there is no way to do it but their way. This is why we have wars. This is why we have destruction on the planet, because we have these people with the religious mind that claim they're the only ones with the truth. That is a ridiculous notion. Now, it's a shame that 99.99% of the people that call do not understand what science is, and none of them understand what evolution is. So let me give you the definition of science for a minute. Definition of science is the use of evidence to construct testable explanations and predictions of natural phenomenon, as well as the knowledge generated through this process. So the Bible does not have science. Because where is the testable evidence? Where's the testable knowledge in the Bible that you can test? Because they don't have science. What they have is a damn religion. Simple as that. They're promoting ideology of Middle Eastern people. We do not have to even begin to follow the customs and traditions of those who have oppressed and murdered us. In all their religious texts, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, they have enslaved African people. We do not have a morality. We do not have to practice morality with these people. Let's come to some science real quick. Since they all talk about science, I just want to come to the powder player. Archaeological discoveries reveal that prehistoric peoples lived livelihoods seamlessly in a high-level organization than its contemporaries in the Nile. So these people lived in a higher level than people in the Nile. They constructed the star clocks on the ground. We can go see them right now. We had the money, we could go. They have constructed this. This clearly shows you that they understood physics, right? Above ground and below ground construction, villages designed and pre-planned arrangements, deep wells, water through the years. So this is science on the ground. Ask a Hebrew to show you artifacts. They don't have facsimiles, no direct copies from the original on their text. They have none of these things. They only want you to believe. And as a matter of fact, on Kim on trial, we destroyed the homophobic or homosexuality they claim was in Egypt. So at the end of the day, right, this has been a ridiculous conversation. They have no artifacts, no proof, no nothing, just a bedazzle to bedazzle you. All right? So I'm going to let you know right now, right, anytime y'all really, really want to get it in, we can do it on a big stage. All right? Put out your information, put out your facts. My fault. You have no artifacts. All you have is a damn book that was created by your oppressors. So y'all know what we stand for around here. It's called Black African Power. We deal with the customs and the tradition of those who studied nature, who gave the foundation of science. The foundation of science is what they use today in modern science. Y'all know what it is, man. So as long as y'all believe, right, y'all will have absolutely nothing. We don't seek to believe. We seek to know as our ancient ancestors did. I'm a Raw Squad Up, Black African Power. Y'all know what it is, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Brother Arm, for coming on the show, and everybody in the Armor Raw Squad, and, of course, everybody in the War Council for making the time out to come out here for the people to hear this dialogue. I appreciate you guys, for being here live on Debate Talk Radio. And, again, we're on next week, guys, so make sure you check out the schedule on Blog Talk. Go to the website, www.blogtalkradio.com/debatetalk4you, and see what's coming up next week. See you guys next time.
This is your host, Sal Showtime, host of the radio show, Debate Talk for You Radio. I just want to take some time out to thank each and every person out there for supporting the show and tuning in from Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, logging on to Debate Talk for You Radio. Everybody knows we have the greatest debates in the world. We're one of the most popular shows on the internet, so make sure you tell a friend to log on and check out the Facebook page by going to facebook.com/debatetalkforyou. That's facebook.com/debatetalkforyou. If you'd like to be a special guest, send me an email, debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. Continue to support the show, and make sure you tell a friend, like I said, spread the word all over the globe. Debate Talk for You is live on the air. And if you want to call in, you know the number, 646-716-7320. You can listen via phone, listen via Skype, and check out the show live. If you want to have any questions, just press the number 1, and I'll add you into the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Debate Talk for You Radio. See you next time.